So we going live, live, live. All right, trying to check this mic thing set up. Make sure everything's a go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Man, as far as business wise, you know, we kind of Johnny come late. Um, Cash App, uh, Zelly, I think Apple Pay finna be do all of them. You gotta personalize, who you're sending the money to. Which the funny part is, um, What's already been doing this. PayPal. When I send PayPal to people, far as they want you to identify if it's for business or if it's for, family and friends. And distinctively, a lot of people, kind of do things they know to try to get you to put family and friends because you can mess their account up by getting refunds or saying that products, whatever that you sent, wasn't met to a degree. But overall, you know, when it comes down to business, you got to be in the know-how, know what you're doing, know what you're dealing with. So for a lot of people, there's some things you got to tighten up your skills on. And the main thing in tighten up your skills, man, is having an understanding of, the processes in play and what you're dealing with. Shout out to Real Deal Finance, man. I was over there yesterday with Alonzo, uh, over there with Perfect Timing as well, and discussing business and credit and stuff like that, man. To a degree, a lot of people, man, don't understand certain aspects of business, and they just choose not to partake in it. You know, reaping the benefits of I just don't get a lot of people getting into things without knowing the risks. Even in this space, there's a level of risk, trying to run with the big dogs and stuff like that because you have like these older channels will, chop you down, So take for instance a big understanding of how to, process things and how things work. You got to be in the know-how. And I mean, it's crazy that a lot of people want to talk about business but don't know business. That's the same thing in the space. A lot of people want to talk about marriage and finances and and relationships, but they really have no idea of what the structure is. What is the best way of willing and dealing and learning things? You know, you find a teacher, you find who's someone who's kind of advanced in that department and gain some type of knowledge. You know, when it come down to it, that's the biggest issue in the community. Everybody knows stuff, but nobody wants to learn. You know, I can teach you ABCs. You get the ABC, now you're a scholar. You're truly a scholar and not doing the work by learning what's after DEF and so forth all the way to Z, you know. And even in business, the process on business when you're learning things, to a degree, we have some type of structure, you know, dealing, adding and subtracting, so now you're a guru. You pick up a book and you can read tons of books on, finance, you can read tons of books on entrepreneurship, but if you actually don't put it to work, what's good what good is it? You know, You got to put certain processes. I can read a book on how to take out a motor out of a car, but to me, actually getting down there and putting in the work, that's something totally different. I had an uncle who was like that. An uncle who could, tell you how to fix something and do something, but he couldn't do it himself. You know, like they have people who are visual learners who, visually can kind of see things working in, but to a degree they just can't do it. And I mean, it's crazy, man. The process in which a lot of people aren't, you know, for one, K Business Podcast, what's going on, man? Learning. I go on this guy channel all the time, talking about grants, talking about conducting business, holding things accountable, know what you're doing. How many people are willing to say I don't know and I need help? That's like the biggest issue, you know, that's just going past what we dealing with business in the community. You learn something in your way is better than everyone else's. And that's one of the main concerns that we are having throughout the space is what are we actually really doing? You know, what are we actually really doing? What are we teaching the next generation? Because like I've always said, if I was a bus driver, my son should own a bus driving company or own a business, and to a degree. If I was a nurse, my son, should be a doctor because the next generation should advance themselves better than their parents, and it's up to us to put them in that situation. Even if my son just become just a regular worker and he just want to live life working, don't want to do, go past anything, but for him just to be a regular worker and be good at it and making more money, that's the key. You want better for your kids. You want, if anything happens, because I always talk about life insurance. If anything happens to you, you want to be able to say my son and my daughter's in a better situation, you know, and focusing more on the son than on the daughter, that's an issue. When it comes down to it, that's why I always talk about we need to build our sons and our daughters up. Because if we build the men up, to be better, then who are they going to marry? We always have topics relating, the issue of women and their thought patterns and how they're raised and trying to hold them accountable, but giving the growth to the boys, and then who's actually helping the women who really want to get married and who want to be different. You know, that thought pattern of uh her mom taught her this and she didn't know better this and that. Well, if you're the father, have an input. So you technically don't have no input in your daughter's life, you know. And to a degree, if she wants to run wild and rampant, if you gave it your go and you tried, that's all. Even with a son, you can have a son that don't want. I mean, look at 50 Cent's son. Like the loin in which he come from, man. This guy got tons of money and had to disown his son because situations. And to a degree, we can argue whether the situations were for or against, but you know, it's crazy. You know, hey man, shout out to you, Kev, man. When it come down to it, that's the big motivation, man. We gotta actually hold ourselves accountable for raising both sons and daughters, man. You know, my daughter might marry somebody's kid in this space or just in general. So if I don't actually relay her the message and talk to her about certain things to kind of carry her along, not to be played by no man, but at the same time have an understanding who she's dealing with and what she want out. I always talk about when I talk about knowledge itself, And for people who don't understand, I say this is not just for men having to understand what they want out of life. This is for women too. Because if you want to be wild and ratchet, you got to accept what comes with that. If you want to be a thug and, hot boy, you got to accept what comes with that. You know, in the words of Erica Williams, her classic climb, if women want to be classy and climbing, then do that. It's coming to a degree. I was on Bolo's channel, Bolo TV, you know, and he was talking about the issue at hand, that this whole equal rights and women making money, the same as men and stuff like that. So the topic at hand was when men were making the money and they had to take care of their families, you know, there was nothing said about it. Man's supposed to hold down the fort, take care of the family. But if a woman makes the money, she feels she needs a man to make more money than her to, account for her shortcomings and something like that. But when it was on the man's shoe, there was no issue about that. And that was a great part right there, man. Bolo talked about the Chris Rock uh, only ones to being worried about are women, children, and pets. I guess he had to stand up about it and stuff like that. And he went into detail about it, man. It was a crazy thing from the aspect of, knowing money, that it's not even just I was about to say sacrifice, but it's not even a sacrifice. If a woman makes money, why her man can't, still be the breadwinner of the house? I mean, if a man makes more money for the family, he just make more money for the family. If a woman gets to a degree where she makes more money than a man, that's her money, and we got to get past that, because, the building blocks in the community in which we keep forgetting about is the structure of family. And as we can see, everything is being delayed. We don't have that family structure no more. So our kids are not learning this, you know, to a degree. The adults are not teaching or learning as well. So our population is going to start dwindling, just like, other cultures. They're not we're not going to have, I mean, to a degree, certain kids. I mean, already, of course, you're going to know that there's going to be a certain sector of people that still run around having kids, but where's the money going to flow from? And, that's the main reason. Like I say, I have these gender topics and pushing this to kind of get back to the main meat and potatoes of the money aspect. Who's going to be held accountable for the money? You know, if you make a crap load of money and you're single, you don't have no kids, who's going to have your estates? You know, Bill Gates married, had kids. Um, Warren Buffett married, had kids at one point. Don't have, most of these guys are not married now. Jeff Bezos, all these guys, they're not married, but amassed amounts of money. Okay, let's look at Michael Jordan. You know, mask. I mean, Nick Cannon. We can even throw Future in there. Kids. Like, look at all the people who are single. You know, who's going to inherit their wealth? Even Michael had kids. He wasn't married, but Michael had, yeah, he did get married, but, to a degree, like the kids. That's the main, issue is who's going to take over your wealth. Even if you pass it down to your nieces and nephews, a lot of people not understanding that, man. You know, it's back in the day, it was more along the lines of, having the family name ring bells and go strong. Even in those small communities, small, towns, you had a one set family that ran that whole town, bought up all the land, passed, did anything. You can actually go to that person and get a loan better than you can go to the bank. You know, you can go to that person and get a job in that town faster than you would go to a corporate, office and try to set things, you know. And to the degree we having an understanding, you know, what is the balance? Hey lady, how you doing? Another great podcast I go to where we have the discussion, men and women. And like I keep saying, if we can make as men, if you stay single and make all this money and you're on this whole paper run and chase, what good is it when you just give it all to the state? You know, to a degree, I don't like nobody. I don't want to be around nobody. Nobody's gonna get my money. So you're gonna give all your money to the state. You're gonna give all your money to a charity. And to an extent, that's like once Oprah leaves, yeah, she have her magazines, she had her TV show, but past from the exception of her foundation, she'll cease to exist. Now Gail, her kids, you know, her family structure, they'll still keep her in memory. You know, she was one of the women that worked with Oprah, and she's gonna have more praise and up than all the others. No, I was just actually I went into it a little bit, trying to have a little discussion on it. Just actually getting people ready for the new year coming in. That the structure thing that they're doing with it. They're trying to lock down people's pocket. This whole thing of you making a certain amount of money and you got to claim $600. And like I said about PayPal been doing this. PayPal been having this structure to where if you um if you send money, you actually have to assign, or is it going to family, friends, or business? We had an issue on YouTube to where someone sent some money to somebody and tried to get it back, and it almost, ruined their account with PayPal. So Cash App and all of them are doing the same, because to a degree, if you send to, I had a friend, him and his brother, they had got a settlement, and then turned around and their granddad died and left them a good little amount of money. So as it stands, they were just shooting money to each other. The brother go to the casino, be like, man, let me get $1,000, send it to him. You know, and turned around and was like, yeah, man, let me get this, let me do this, and let me do that. And they were just sending money back and forth, big amounts, because you only can send up to so much money per week. And when you start sending large amounts, that start, waving those red flags. And that was the issue. Like you got, I think it's Cash App, it's out, but Zelly and what is it, Apple Pay, and certain ones that are tied to the bank more or less, they're, I mean, they're easily, pushing in way more money. And a lot of people use Cash App is easy and accessible to where you can get your money instantly. A lot of people don't use Venmo as much. A lot of people don't use Zelly. I use Zelly a lot. You know, it's more functionable to where you can send it to your account and it goes directly to your bank account. To where if you want to keep it in a business transaction, you can open up a business account or just even open up an account and just conduct that account just as solely for business. You know, and that's the main goal. A lot of people got to have an understanding of how they want to represent. I mean, how they want to have their money being transaction. Because right now they're cracking down on it. It's too many people have too many side hustles, and to a degree, even with the whole Bitcoin Nation and all these people, they're making it to where it's gonna be harder for you to hide your money. Mike, what's going on, man? New Year to you, man. Yeah, I tell you, I gotta stay out this chat. I'll be trying to stay focused. But yeah, man, to the new year, you know, they're trying to catch all these people that are, just getting too much money on the side. A lot of people are not found. There's been years of, side hustles that's made people multiple, like I would say millions on it. You know, some people to thousands because you just getting into the craft and then truly perfect it. But I mean, come on, man. Like, woof. Like, I knew one of my friends. He's one of his friend's son started a do rag business in high school, and his mom taught him how to, use a sewing machine. Don't you know this guy went to the fabric shop, just started making do rags out of different little fabrics and stuff like that, and almost like just redefine what a do rag looks like, and to a degree, certain aspects of the do rag that made it look good. And when it came down to it, man, he just took it to a whole nother level. I'm like, tons of money. He retired his mom. He went to college, and I think second year in the college, he ended up hiring two people, and had his mom running things. I mean, it was crazy, man. I was like, dang, And when it came down to it, his mom was like, yeah, you need to start filing, because I mean, to a degree, this guy, I think, before he went to college, dude had made almost $50,000 just off of selling do rags. Then he would have the different colors, the silk different color ones. Then he started going into the cloth ones as almost like caps. Like, it was a endless, the different, because nobody was doing those the different colors and matching clothes and stuff like that. You go to a beauty salon store and have several different colors, but as far as that, I mean, like, business wise, his mom knew that eventually it's gonna be some questions why you having so many deposits and stuff like that. And he went from just selling it hand to hand from school to had it online, and that's when it really took off. You know, dude was doing 100 something strong a year on do rags. You know, and that's the main thing, man. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, man. But you know, I'm gonna hit back to your topic in a minute. But yeah, when it come down to it, man, we got to have an understanding far as setting aside, because right now the question is your business that you kind of doing, is it really going to be a business? you know Getting your LLC prepared, articles incorporation, getting your EIN. I keep telling people it's free. Get your EIN number, it's free. Even if you don't have your business license, EIN number is free. Start off there. you know, because some of these side hustles, they're gonna start, like they said, the certain some of these companies are gonna start sending 1099s to you when you make so much money in your account. Then what's gonna be, you know, the thing? How are you gonna file this? Tax laws are crazy. I mean, I got Amazon a book about the different, ways of, deductions and stuff like that. A lot of people got to look into it. Sometimes, I mean, honestly, you might have to start using accountants. You might have to start, not. I wouldn't advise going to some of these tax prepared places, to a degree, but you're gonna have to start looking into that, because when it comes down to it, the discussion is like, if you're conducting business, far as just selling and I guess with Etsy, um, doing the shipping, with Shopify, all those different stores online and stuff like that, it's starting to be noticed more now. So you got to actually understand this is not a side hustle no more. This is an actual business. And you're going to start getting looked at more now because they made these changes in the law. So for the people that, has been getting by all these years and everything's cool and collective, you know, now you're going to have that, that eye on you, you know. And when it comes down to it, shout out Dr. Dunbar, go Bulldogs. But when you have that eye on you, man, that's gonna be your thing. A lot of people, having properties and stuff like that for rentals, income coming in. They're gonna be looking at that. How are you gonna make the adjustments? You know, how are you gonna make it suitable to say, well, this is what somebody else property? You're not paying tax on taxes or anything on it because I mean, it's just sitting there. You forgot about it. The days of just, getting by and scooting around without nobody noticing all this stuff is, they're paying more attention to it. Look how many millionaires are being made off of crypto. Look how many people are taking advantage, of flipping houses, tax liens, and stuff like that, man. That's the biggest issue that people are, not wanting to file because man, and I'm just, I'm getting by, man. It ain't really that much money. Those days are long gone, man. Like you actually gotta, put your feet down, do some research, you know, get a card for your business, open an account. If you have an account, set up to where you have there's so many deductions, buying clothes. I remember I used to file my Jordans and my any of my shoes. With me used to moving furniture, I used to just buy shoes on random, a whole bunch of shoes because even though I bought those Jordans, eventually I will start wearing them to work. To a degree, most people when they get their shoes scuffed up and kind of banged up or stepped all, they just start playing ball in them, cleaning the yard in them, man, and going from there. You know, so when it come down to it,
Yo, what's happening, sheet? What's good with you, fam? I don't know if it's me, but I just can't hear you. And I know I'm hearing people in the chat saying they can't hear you. I don't know if you muted up or if you fell off. What's going on? What's going on, though, peoples? It's your friendly neighborhood, Kane the God. I'm up here with my homie, she, you know what I'm saying? I had to pull up real quick. I ain't talked to my brother for the new year. This is a brother I fuck with on some real shit, so I had to pull up. I guess he did drop off. I guess he was having a little bit of issues. He can pull back up. But yeah, I had to pull up on my homie real quick, man. Happy New Year, all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. What's happening, Sheed? You there? She be out there moving and shaking. So I don't know. She could be somewhere in the mountains right now. I don't know where you at right now, but your connection. The folks can't hear you. Alright, so I guess I'm gonna have to hold it down till my brother get back up here, man. I have to hold it down. It seems like he was talking about out there making moves, moving and shaking, starting businesses and getting your shit right when it comes to your taxes and all that. Me personally, I know a lot about that because I opened up my first business in what I think it was about 2005, 2004 when I opened up my first business. And funny enough, my first business that I actually really opened up. Matter of fact, I'm capping. Back in the day on some young nigga shit, you know what I'm saying? Some little nigga shit I did. I opened up a little business, but my real first main business that I opened up was a beauty supply store. Real talk. I had opened up a beauty supply store back in like 2004. Shishi girl. That's what me and my homie. You know what I'm saying? He was really my homie like that, but you know what I'm saying? He was a dude that came to me with an idea. I was like a secret investor. I was like a private investor. We opened up Shishi Girl in Corona, New York. For those that's from New York, you know what I'm saying? Corona. Speaking to wife, it was something like a bad idea because Corona, New York is a lot of Latin people out there. With Latin people, they don't really need too much hair supplies. All they need is a little mousse or some shit like that, and they good to go. But they had like a projects right across the way, right across the trestle. You know what I'm saying? They had a projects over there. There's a lot of black sisters and shit over there. So you know what I'm saying? We bought their hair. We did all that fly shit. I think I told this story on my channel before. You know what I'm saying? We did that shit. Bought the hair, all that shit. Had the grand opening party, DJ, all that fly shit. Everybody came through. But then after they came through in the grand opening, we ain't see motherfuckers no more. And that's the crazy shit when it comes to businesses and shit, especially with black folk, man. The motherfuckers gonna be supporting motherfuckers like that, man, when you open a business, man. When you open a business like that, they don't be supporting like that. The sisters did not come through and show love. We had all the yaki, the synthetic, the motherfucking the wavy. Fucking still going down the list. Like I did all my research on the hair shit, cause I got family members that fuck around with the hair shit. So I was like, I thought I was gonna be popping with the hair shit. Excellent idea, wrong location. This is back in the day when business was all about location, location, location. That's a fact, Auntie. It's an excellent idea. Well, now it should be different. You know what I'm saying? It should be different now, Auntie, because now we got this internet shit, and you could flex on the internet. But back then, it was all about the location, location, location. We had the wrong location because where we was set up at was around a lot of Latin chicks,
Can
and
you
they
hear me?
I hear you now, shit. I hear you now, shit. I was just trying to hold you down. You know what I'm saying? Till you got back up here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. We did it. We was in the wrong location. That's during the era of location, location, location. Now the location is the internet, so you could. It might be a little bit different now. And during that time when I was doing it, the Linglings and the Changings, they had that shit on Smash. I remember when it was time for us to go buy our products, we used to be going through a hassle trying to get our products. We used to go down there to 22nd and First Ave in New York, in the city and shit. And when we pulled up, they showed them our business license and all that, and they used to be like, "Oh," they looked at our location, what our address was, and they was like, "Yo, but we got such and such over here." And the discount shit too, Auntie. That too. That too. That's what we making a lot of black businesses kind of struggle out here, because everybody else be getting deals. Everybody else be getting deals out here. So when it comes to you buying your products, you got to end up buying your products for a little bit higher. So you have to end up charging a little bit higher. And now people think you trying to get over. It's not that I'm trying to get over. It's that I'm not getting the proper deals that I should get because they don't be respecting our bread when it comes to business. They don't respect our bread when it comes to they don't respect our money when it comes to business. They're gonna overcharge us. You go to a bank, it's gonna be super hard. Me personally, I don't know anybody that has ever got a black person in this country that got a motherfucking business loan. That actually got a business loan. A lot of these other people that could get business loans and all that, just a startup loan and all that to get their shit popping. They'd give us a loan for a car or for a house because they know that's debt. They know that's debt. They know that's something that they could come grab from us. But with the business shit, something that's gonna make us actually get money, they really don't fuck with us like that. They really don't fuck with us like that. I know some brothers might say differently, but I know for a fact because I fucked around with it. I've had businesses, like I said, ever since I opened that first business, I've opened up a couple of other businesses, and that's one thing that was always a struggle to get a loan, get a business loan to get shit popping. They ain't messing with us like that. It is what it is.
Yeah,
We live in
to
America.
get it. Well, I was
Good.
just gonna say real quick to get a business loan, man. Your credit got to be A1. You know, you got to have so many. Um, dang, what's the name I'm looking for? So many assets that you can put
Yeah.
down to where if that business doesn't, go through, then you kind of have something to fall. That's just like when the whole when people do them loans and stuff like that, them title loans and all that stuff to a degree. You got to have so much like an asset to put down. Like when you do title loans, you putting your car down. A lot of
Yeah.
people, to a degree, they have so much. Like I was telling my wife last night, I was like, when Alonzo was having that discussion and having the talk, when a lot of people go buy those $1 million houses, 20%, they ain't coming in with 200,000. They coming in with so much assets and probably putting down 75,000 or something like that. And they're using the assets as the means to, finance and get that house.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a fact. That's a fact. Damn near if you were to get a business loan, like you got to match what you asking for. You want 50K, they want you to have 50K somewhere. Why would I come to you to ask for a loan if I got 50K sitting somewhere? I'm coming to ask you to loan so I can build something. They ain't gonna give us that opportunity though. They're not gonna. You have to damn near match the loan that you want. I've done it. I've done it plenty of times. I'm not talking on my ass. This is something that I've actually done. I'm like, damn, it's like that, but that's how it is. Like I said, they'll give you a loan for a vehicle or a house because they know that's something that they can actually take. They know it's something that, yo, if you ain't paying them, you gonna come and scoop that. And like Auntie just said in the chat, if you don't have that inventory, if you don't have that inventory, that overhead type shit, it's damn near impossible. And the other flip side is to it is that the people, your people that we consider our people as black people, they don't come and support you. I've seen a lot of brothers that open up some shit in the hood and motherfuckers will bypass they fucking store to go to motherfucking the Arab guy, the Spanish guy. They bypass your shit. They walk right past your shit. Cause dudes be looking like I don't want him to come up. It's that hate, it's that semi hate in the blood type shit. Like, yo, I want to see him come up.
Yeah. I mean, conducting business, man, location is key. You gotta have that mindset. That's why I was saying earlier. A lot of people are not learning the process, and having the business be functional and relatable, man. A lot of people not working with each other; they're working against each other. Even in this space, you have channels that have been, in it in play for years. And who's your predecessor? It's almost like
Mm,
bringing your child
mm-hmm.
up. You're not
Mm-hmm.
you're teaching, but you're not passing the torch. To a degree, you've made money. You can still make money, but you don't want nobody to come in and take over what you started on some like Nino Brown,
Yeah.
type deal.
Yeah.
This is mine. I'm the runner, run the Carter. Nobody, you can come in G Money, but you can't. This is mine. You can't get all this. I give you a little pass, give you a little money, get you on your feet, stuff like that. And we see this time and time again when it comes to business. You know, that's like the biggest thing. You got to have an understanding of business, what you're getting yourself into. You know,
Mm-hmm. What's the major business you see brothers always popping up with? A barber shop. That was my second business that popped off. But that's a simple business to pop off. You go get a location, you got a barber shop. That's why you see 1,000,001 barbershops. It's usually us that's holding down that type of shit. We can get a barber shop, but to have something that's really gonna generate some real power wealth, it's a uphill battle.
yeah. That's like I'll be talking about with Alonzo, and Dr. Dunbar made it perfectly. Explained this. That's the bank is the business. They're in the means of making money for themselves, and if they think it's a risk, they're not going to take that risk. And as in general, as us as black people, we already understand that getting into that realm, we're gonna have to compete. And saying that, well, they're not gonna do this, they're not gonna do that. Well, if you notice, play the game to the advantage to where you can win. Get your credit together. Don't go in there with a 620 and expect to get $50,000. I mean, that's not realistic. You know, Even when you say, man, I'm just trying, I got everything. You can have $1 million business plan, and it don't mean nothing if you know you don't have the credit. I've seen people try to buy houses and they have the money to pay, street money or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
far as anything after that, they don't have the credit. You can't get approved for the house, you know. And I seen people, had the money but struggle because of that cap of, a certain salary to a certain percentage of house that you want. You just can't afford it. That ballpark figure when you're buying a house, they'll give you that all day. Oh, you're approved for a $500,000 house. But when you
Mm-hmm.
actually do the math and they start breaking down your finances, you really can't afford it. You know, you be like, yeah, but
Oh,
I got this awesome job. I mean, you really can't
that's
afford it.
that's how they got a lot of people before 2008. Because that was around the time when I first bought my first house. I bought my first house
Yeah,
probably in like 2006, and that's when they was giving out them subprime loans,
yeah,
where it was them double loans where you got two banks on your neck. And now you paid about 35. When I first got my first car, I was paying about 4 grand a month for my house in New York. And when they started doing them loan modifications, I was like one of the first people that ever found out about that. And I had to go get that loan modification. But that's how a lot of people lost their houses before, you know what I'm saying, before Obama hit the joint, before Obama got in there, and people was losing their crib. Shit hit the fan during that time. There's a lot of people losing their houses because a lot of people got hit with the subprime loan. Because they'll do that. You know what I'm saying? They'll give you a loan. Like I said, they love putting you in debt. They love putting you in debt, especially if they know you can't afford it. Because in their eyes, they're gonna pay us. They're gonna pay us for a couple of months, maybe a year or two, and then they're gonna lose their joint. They come scoop your joint from under you, and now you messed up in the game. So no, so credit is key. You definitely got to make sure your credit is on point, and make sure you got a game plan.
yeah, man. That's like the biggest thing. A lot of people, man, they're not going in with that game plan, and that's why they, ultimately coming out with bad results. You know, and that's why with Alonzo, he was talking about mainly you having that life insurance as a necessary clutch to come in there and says, I have some assets right here. I've been paying in this policy for this long. They want to see some type of structure, and a lot of people just don't have the structure to get these loans. You know, the banks, they're in the business of making money, but they can't make money if they don't loan money. The interest rate is killer high, but it's to a degree. We gotta feel as if some way somehow we can possibly get some of our money back or not take a nail all the way. You know,
Mm-hmm.
garnishing your wages and all that stuff, taking you to court. They people fighting, then you got scamming and stuff. A lot of this certain money is insured to a degree up to a good little amount, but still, like, why would I ultimately loan somebody $10,000 and from what I've heard, they don't pay people money back.
Mm-hmm.
People got to have that under consideration that, we under this veil of, lazy mentality, don't want to work, don't want to do this, don't want to pay back. So we already coming in the game, already at zero and someone else at 100. So why not fix your credit? Why not do things to give you somewhat of a plight of, to where you can compete? You might not win all the time, but it's still you can be in the game competing,
Yeah,
you know.
a big discussions. You're absolutely right with that. When it comes to the banks, they definitely want to see that you have something running. So that's why it's like a crazy situation when you're trying to holler at the bank. They would actually see that you have a business that's running before they even give you no bread. And Aunt T is absolutely right too. But it was hitting people with the reverse joint, when they came up with that reverse mortgage joint in the balloon and the blue mortgages. A lot of brothers and sisters, they got creds, but they got it under that balloon mortgage. But yeah, we gonna let you, we'll make you pay a little cheap something, make you feel good for a couple of years, and then out of nowhere, bam! Now we hitting you with that adjustable mortgage, where every year your shit's changed up, but you don't know how your shit's really rocking out. You get
Yep.
the
And they
balloon joint.
Yeah, and even with them reverse mortgages, man, they were killing the old people because they
Oh
couldn't
man,
keep
they was
up.
taking houses. They was taking
Yeah,
houses. That was a way for them to take houses. That was a scam. That whole shit was a scam. That's why nowadays you don't even see those commercials as much as you used to. For those that still be looking at TV, you don't even see the reverse mortgage commercials like that no more. Cause that shit was a major scam. It was that was the way that they was taking a lot of people's houses away from their kids.
yeah,
Because now you get
generational
old.
wealth.
Yeah, you get old here to take this reverse mortgage. This is what it's called, reverse mortgage. The name
Yeah,
itself says it all. This is how they do shit. They put it in your face, but they put the truth in your face, but they put it in a subtle way where you don't really understand that the truth they tell you exactly what they're gonna do. Reverse mortgage. Come on now. That shit sound like a scam.
yeah, and to a degree, you got to understand. With a lot of old people, nobody's there helping them. They think this is their only option, only way out. You know, and that sets the prime to where they have no other choice. You have 10 kids, 5 kids. Let's say you just have 2 kids, and they working and getting by. Why not have it to where you stay in there and help your mom out, help your dad out. And it's to a degree that we got to have our own. You grown. I got a partner right now. He just moved back in with his mom. Him and his girl. That's the crazy part. Him and his girl
Mm,
stay with his mom and her boyfriend and his little brother. You
okay.
know, and the thing is, he's like, man, I'm saving money. Man, I'm making money. Man, I just got my truck. So man, I'm finna be booming, man.
Nah,
What's
that's
going on,
real talk,
kid?
man.
Yeah. He was like, I'm finna be booming, man. This gonna be some good for me, man.
Hey, hey, good morning, man. All right, nice to talk to get to holler at y'all. I
What's
was just
Yeah.
about
happening,
to
Kev?
tell man, I was listening when you was talking about the reverse mortgage and stuff. I was like, and I know exactly what you mean. See, like in 2008, that was under Bush with the
Yeah,
housing
yeah.
market crash, right?
Facts,
Now,
facts. I
see,
remember it.
this what I used to think. I was like, see, black folks kind of dodged the bullet with that because they wouldn't give us them fucking loans like that. And I had
Mm.
some of my white friends, man. both graduated from school, student loan, living like the Joneses, upper middle class, and see when that mortgage payment went up from 2 to 3 thousand up to 11,000 a month, they were
Talk about
sick.
this. Talk about it, Kev. Talk about it, Kev. I
Right.
remember. I
I'm
remember.
like, God damn, I'm glad we couldn't get that shit because I'm in the South. You know, it was giving us the bullshit loan. But for them, middle class, they thought that was a wonderful thing, just relying on the market to balance their shit, which is stupid. It's like you said, it's a reverse mortgage. Sometimes basic common sense don't change. And they don't teach that in
Exactly.
college. Then I'm
Exactly.
like, man, how y'all went to fucking college and don't get it says reverse mortgage, man. That
Mhm.
means you're
Mhm.
relying on the whole economy for your bills to be low or you gonna get kicked out. It was one in every five middle class homes that was throwing their shit on the street. I'm like, damn, they're throwing white folks out. You know, so I was like,
Exactly,
I do remember
exactly,
that.
exactly, Kevin, exactly, Anthony. I'm reading the comments. My bad, y'all. I'm up here with y'all, but I'm reading the comments too because I'm seeing good shit in the comments. Auntie's spitting some fire, but that's yeah, like you said, like you're saying, bro, the reverse is like I said, they tell you to your face. A lot of times they tell you to your face because they understand, and they understand, and they do this psychology on people. They understand that people don't use common sense in this era. They understand this. This is the game that they play. They understand that people do not use common sense. Reverse
Right.
mortgage was
Or
a
are
way
we
to
just
take
too
away your
lazy? Yeah.
yeah facts. Reverse mortgage is definitely a basic way for them to take your house from you. And that's what they was doing. Instead of us having to go buy it, we'll give you back some change every month. Hey, reverse mortgage, you don't gotta pay nothing. We'll pay you until you gone.
Right.
Next thing you know,
Right.
your house is gone. And then with the subprime, with the balloons and all that, you know what I'm saying? You have a loan where 5 years you nice. 5 years you feel, oh my shit ain't
Yeah.
nothing. Nigga, I'm
That
only paying a thousand
balloon
dollars a
rate.
month. I'm only paying
Right.
$1,000 a month. Then out of nowhere, you call them like, yo, what happened? Why my shit jumped up to 1,800 from 1,000 to 1,800?
Right.
Like damn.
Oh, it went up a lot higher than that when that balloon, the
Yeah, yeah,
housing
yeah, yeah,
market burst. It
yeah.
went up way. I was like, oh man, I see why they're getting kicked out. And these were professionals getting kicked out of their homes. They couldn't afford it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I got caught up with the subprime shit. Like I said, I got caught up with it. You know what I'm saying? They gave me a
Hmm.
loan with no money down. I bought a house with no money. I think all I had to pay was like some of the closing costs.
Yeah,
That's all
so
I had
you
to pay
got
about
caught with
three,
it then.
four
Yeah,
thousand
you
now.
just
Yeah,
got
they
caught
called
with
me
it.
with it. Yeah,
Right,
they called me, but I fixed it real quick. I did my research and I heard about loan
right,
modifications.
because
'Cause I
you
remember
wouldn't all the way, you wouldn't bent over like they were. They've been
yeah,
there. You see what I'm
when I
saying?
went when I went to the banks, they was like, "Yo, what is?" When I went to my bank, it was like, "What is loan modifications?" The bankers didn't even know about that shit yet. That's how hard I went with it. Like, yo, when I saw
Hmm.
that payment jump up, I was like, "Whoa, wait a second, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Right.
whoa!" And I did my due diligence. And when I went in there, I was like one of the first people that ever got a loan modification. And
Yeah, you got it early. That's good.
they dropped my payment
Doug,
down to 1%.
Doug was
That's
saying that
why.
those are the arm loans.
Yeah, yeah, them arm loans, you don't want that. Stay away from that. You don't want no arm loan. Stay away from that. And yeah, I took over one of my family's properties and they was caught up in that. I was like, yo, why would you do that? And you know what they told me? They was like, yo, it sounded good in the beginning, when they was telling me that, yo, for the first 10 years, this is what my payment would be. They keep you on a fix for like the first 5 to 10 years, and then out of nowhere, now your loan is going by whatever the market is saying. They went from like a 2% to 5%. They couldn't afford
Hmm.
that shit. They couldn't
Yeah.
afford that shit. They was about to lose their crib.
People don't get back to the basics and do their numbers. Just do your numbers. The numbers don't lie. If you can afford it, you can afford it. If you can't, you got to make adjustments until you can't afford it.
And a
Because I
lot of
wouldn't try.
mortgage and Kev, a lot of
Mhm.
mortgage companies went down because of that. Because they was selling people these products. They was
Right,
selling people these products. They didn't tell them what was about to happen. They was just trying to get that commission. They were just
right.
trying to
And
get that
look, I
commission.
watched I watched the stock market during that time, and I was watching when they was going with the drill baby drill shit. And they were
Mm,
saying that the Bush was saying the market was doing fine and all that. They were just flat out lying. And I
yeah.
saw months before that, all the stocks in the banks were dropping, right? Just similar to
Mm,
COVID-19 in January. In that January when Trump was in office, they started dumping their shares.
mm-hmm.
We didn't find out until damn near March. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this market going down. And so that's just the big wigs moving their money. We really need to
Exactly.
start paying attention to some of these politicians. Like one of the Democrats in Florida, I forgot, white lady, blonde hair. she voted against predatory lending. She voted against it. Why? Because she owned those little cash checking places. Yeah, she
Oh,
don't want
okay.
that. And
Oh
see,
yeah, a
he said
lot of
that was
those went down too. A lot of those went down too. Remember there was check
right,
cashes all over the place? Those went down
right.
too, Kev.
That went down under Obama. They kind of went to put the squeeze on him with that, but she was all for it. So you got to watch that, and that's like I say, read the fine print because they got those
Facts,
check
Auntie.
cash places all through the black neighborhoods. They
Yeah.
paying $200, $300 for the to do their damn taxes. I'm like, no, do your own taxes. You can do fast tax. You only had one job, one.
There you go. There you
Stop
go,
They,
letting them rip
Kev.
us off like that. You know.
they used to have so many.
Auntie, that's a fact, Auntie. Yet the bankers got bailed out throughout that whole shit. The bankers got bailed out with all of
And
that.
Wall Street, and Wall
Come on
Street.
now. I was there, man. I'm in the prime. I'm in New York City doing all this. I'm watching all of it happen. I'm
Right.
watching
See,
all of
you
it
right where the
happen.
money moving. Yeah.
Man, I was dealing with this guy. He was a real estate agent, and he was saying during that time, he was like, "Man, I lost so much money." He said, "Before, man, I was doing good." He's like, "Cause I had the inside, so I was able to get loans that benefited me. Some of the houses I would easily pay these houses off in 3 to 5 years, and then I turned around, I was renting them out." Dude said he had at least about 60, I think 60 rental properties all over Atlanta.
Mm,
And he
mm,
was like, "Man, I had them all." He said the least amount I had was $1,200, all the way up to $6,000 a month. And he was like, "Man, I had properties everywhere. I had mansions. I had just
Uh,
small, decent houses." And he never got bad tenants and all that stuff, man. He was like, "Man, I was doing good." He was like, "Man, I went and bought a plane because," he was like, "I thought that's what rich people do." And this guy was like, "Man, I
mm.
bought a plane, end up when the market crashed." He said, "I bought that plane for $120,000. He's like, but then that was on the low end." He said that was
mm.
cheap. And he was like, the maintenance for it, man, was killer. Like every year you had to, turn out that money, 20, 30 some $1,000 maintenance, keeping the plane in the hangar, doing the
Yeah,
Uh,
proper maintenance, the
storage
gas
fee.
when you
Yeah.
climb. Yep, all that stuff, man.
Then you need pilots.
yeah.
You got
Them type
you
of
need
per.
Yep,
engineers. Yeah. To check
Yeah,
it.
them
yep.
Yeah.
type of purchase. Them
Yeah, he
type of
did it
purchases
himself
is
though.
money
He
pits.
flew it. He flew it
See that,
himself. That was the
but
thing for him.
them type of purchases is
That'll
money
work.
pits though. That's money pits though. When you buying like a plane, a boat, those is money pits. A lot of
Yeah,
money
but
be
you
getting
remember
thrown into them shits.
Trump let it go though. He was like, "Oh, you can buy it with the tax breaks." That was the time to get one, I guess.
hmm I wouldn't
Man,
buy
when
one
So
of them
Bush
what?
was
shits.
in office,
Yeah.
that
Go
was the
ahead,
best
Kev. Go
time
ahead,
because
Kev.
Bush was pushing all that stuff out. Go ahead.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
No, I just said Bush was pushing all that stuff out, man, because he had it to where if you buy a vehicle, and you paid it off 100% through your business, man, you was good. Like you get that money on
Mhm.
on a return when you file your taxes on it. I was
Right.
Yeah,
like,
And
man,
see,
if you was a
giving
business
all kind of breaks.
this
if
what
you
we
was a
got to look
businessman,
for
go ahead, Kev. My bad.
as black folks. It's like I have daughters, right? And they're adults, except for my 10-year-old. Whatever come out of this stimulus money, we need to take full advantage of it. I think we need to refocus, get back to those who don't own homes, go to that first time homeowners program, especially for the
Yeah,
girls. Get that now and then get you a double. That's the quickest way to get, a little property under your belt instead of paying that high ass rent. A mortgage payment is much better than a rent payment. Things
yeah,
like that, man.
absolutely,
A small
absolutely.
business loan, whatever they got coming out. I don't care if it's your old lady, put it in her name. If it
There
if
you
it go
go.
to the women, put it in her name because I can tell you the Arabs and Asians do that down here. When they open
Yo,
these stores, that be in the women name. That don't be in
yo,
there so they
Kev,
get the minority status.
that is such ill game that you're giving right now because a lot of motherfuckers don't understand. That's how a lot of that shit played out back in the day where I was here, motherfuckers saying, yo, they ladies got put on welfare and they kicked their men out. No, 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 no. And I was there. I've seen it. I know plenty of families that was under some welfare shit. That was a way to get some extra bread to take care of
Yeah.
the fam.
You could stack up. I was telling dudes, man, hold on. I was
Yeah.
telling one of them, man, hold on, man. It's been doing like, okay, say the child chick got one kid.
Dudes is remixing this shit right now.
She got no rent. And man, you got a
Yeah,
little 30, 40,000, man. That's you tax you winning. That's
Yo,
about 60, 70,000. You know,
females.
and you get the snap.
There was plenty of females that knew that they're like they heard about the programs that was being put out, and I know it sounds crazy because we on the public platform right now, so it's like we putting out the game out there, a real game. This is the real game. I
Right,
understand what y'all hear on the internet, but this is the real game. I'm gonna tell y'all
right.
real talk. There was dudes that's like, yo, hold on, the dude probably figured out the program like, yo, hold on, if you do this, they're gonna smash you with this bread, and I'll play the cut, but it got out of order. You know what I'm saying? It got out of order where certain females jumped out the window on their man, and it fucked the whole program. But the dudes put them on like, yo, hold on, I could leave here, and you could live rent free. Where it's like they paying your shit, and we could stack our bread. That's what the game was back in the day.
Hmm.
Hey,
And I know,
Cam,
I know people. I hear people trying to shame motherfuckers for all that type of shit. But yo, why not? That's how you gonna get your 40 acres of mule. You got to play
Cam.
a certain type of game to get that 40 acres of mule that you was promised.
Right.
Yeah,
Hey,
y'all got it.
the crazy part was this. My cousin, you know, I was hollering at him when he was talking about that stuff, man. He was like, dude, all you had to do was just keep you a bag, one bag in the house. You know, you had
Come
about
on
three,
now.
four outfits in them, and you was good. You know, and if you did, you have like a storage closet, put all the stuff in suitcases, man. You know, you rotate that stuff out. You know, you even your dirty clothes, you put them in a little book bag or something and throw them to the back or up under the bed or something like that. You know, don't leave your shoes out. And then, like one time, my cousin got caught in the house when the people came. Man,
Some
he went to the
some people don't believe that actually was happening, but that really
I
did
know they
happen
do.
a lot, right? And
Yes, Kev.
that was the
Yes,
term that.
Kevin
Listen, one of
Street
my good
facts.
friends, one of my good, and I keep when I hear these other people all collect, I said, no, that was the hustle. You just dipped out and you came back, you know. But like one of my friends, man, they had two kids. You know, he got a good job. He was working two jobs. He bought a house. His old lady got the Section 8 and rented the house
Mm,
with the two kids.
mm.
Section 8 paid for the
Well,
house,
she,
10 years straight paid for it.
Kev, it's
Then
because
they
we on
flipped it and
YT.
sold it. Come on, man.
It's
That's the
because we
hut.
on
That's the
YT.
lick.
I be feeling funny saying certain shit. 'Cause I got a million and one things I could tell people on here, but it's because I'm on YT and I know this is not our platform. I
Mm.
know it's not our platform, but I be feeling like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I shouldn't be
I don't
saying,
want to get too much out
this
there.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
but this
All
is the
right.
game.
You
This
can
is the
make it
game.
work for you. You know, I'm like, man,
Come on
hey,
I was
now.
telling some of the dudes, y'all worrying about the wrong thing, man. That's an opportunity to make this shit work for you, especially if it's your baby mama, man. Cut
Come
all
on
that
now.
bullshit. Stretch
but
it
see,
out as long as you can.
that's the thing. A lot of it's like you deal with the mishaps and the misfits, and then you expect to win. Like that's why I keep
Mm.
telling guys, you know, you can't deal with these new culture appropriated women and think these are gonna be in your best interest because everything is benefiting them. So just like when the men were getting kicked out the house through these women, it was because they felt like, man, I'm in power now. I don't need you. I don't gotta
Mm,
pay nothing. I can chill at the house. But then it got to the point where the dudes that were like we were saying that was making good deals with their women, they were winning. I knew dudes who
come
stayed,
on
they
now.
had them women stay in them spots for years. They turned around, saved up so much money, put down 20% and bought a house.
There
Yeah,
you go.
20%.
right.
There you
That's
go.
what my friends
There
them
you
And
did.
go.
then I know a dude and a chick. They were fooling with each other. Now this the crazy part. I think the chick had about like four kids or whatever.
Hmm.
She ended up dealing with the guy. The guy went and bought the house in his name, had everything good on the house, rented the house out to Section 8. She went and applied for that area the same time, and lo and
Yeah,
behold, got that house.
that's the
When
same
she
thing I
got
was
that
just
Mm,
saying.
house,
My partner did,
and
man. The exact same thing.
now Section 8 is paying him to rent his house out, which is his old lady was staying in the house, and the money was rotating back in the family.
Right. And you know
And
what you do? You send her to go get the first time ownership and get a double. Now your family
mm,
got two homes, right?
right,
And
mm.
one and two of them they can rent out.
What
yep.
you think them other
And
folks do? What you think
yeah,
them other folks
that's
be
what they
doing? That's
do.
what they be doing. That's what they do. And with us, people try to clown you. They try to clown you like, yo, you try to get over. That's the point.
Hey,
In
And
life,
see,
you trying to.
this is my thing with
That's the
across
point.
YouTube with with some of the gender stuff and like that. You know what they never factor in, what people never factor in as collective. most of the dudes are still, even though they don't calculate, they calculate on their marriages. Most dudes still in the house with their old ladies and their kids. They
Mm-hmm.
still
Yep.
in, they're just not married. See, they don't factor that in. Most of them, I
Mm-hmm.
know a whole bunch of dudes, they just not married. Then raise,
Mm-hmm.
other dudes' kids. A lot of more in the home than people think because it's not recorded, and it never
Exactly.
was. How many people
Exactly.
actually? How many black folks used to fill out a census report?
Come on now.
Nobody.
Come on,
Right.
Kev.
They used to have what,
Kev,
10
the
people in a
first time,
damn project and
yo,
nobody
Kev,
fill out a census.
the first time I filled out a census was like a couple years ago because they actually came to the house. Like they sent the shit,
Yeah.
they sent it to the mail. It was coming in the mail. I'm like,
Right.
yo, this white boy pulled up on my gym. I'm like, yo, who is this white boy? I went outside to go check who he is. He was a census dude. Like, oh, we've been sending it to your house. You ain't fill it out, so we actually came. I'm
Right. So
like,
they really
damn,
don't have no idea. The numbers are a
exactly.
lot different. I
The numbers
guarantee
are
it's a
skewed.
10% switch. Yeah, I
The
Hey,
guarantee
numbers are
that.
skewed like a motherfucker.
the crazy part, man. I was dealing with actually on YouTube. This lady, she does like DNA, heritage, and all that, going through your family tree. So she has, I think, ancestry or something like that, to where she
Hmm.
talk to people and she do it for her family as well. Man, don't you know? I gave this lady my grandma name and my great grandma name. She pulled up my whole damn family tree. She had it to where when they did the census, and my great grandma was staying with her dad, and it was crazy. Like they had back in the day, that's what they said. They came in the house, talked to people, looked at the family and all that stuff. I
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
everybody. It was damn near like it was
They had their
damn near
own
15
police
of them in the
department.
house.
They
Yeah,
had their own police department.
Hmm.
it was
Ain't no
damn near
police.
15 of them. 15
Right.
All
like
right, all
my
right,
my my.
Shannon. No, but I'm seeing Shannon comment where he's like, "Oh, really? Dudes live with their women and kids. This is new. Nah, it's really not new, fam. It's really not new. A lot of
Right.
dudes is there with their kids. There's a lot of men that's out there with their kids.
Right. They're just not married. It's just not recorded. That is not recorded.
To a degree,
They just not.
it you looking at this as a norm that when you have a lot of dudes and they baby mamas be tripping, that's not the norm. That's just like dealing with dudes. Take Future and NBA YoungBoy. Yeah, they got a lot of kids, but that's not the norm. The
No,
norm
that's
ain't
not
every
nowhere near
man
the
running
norm.
around. Yeah, that's just like with the thing
The
about all
norm
these
is
baby mamas be kicking the baby
And the
daddies out.
norm
That's not
is
the norm.
most no, the norm is that a lot of guys date women, have dated women, or date women who has kids by other guys. That's just a norm thing. Or help raise them. So that's not calculated either. Like I say, I was with raised the kids that my exes with. They weren't mine. I have two biological. I raised five others. You know what I'm saying? But I was in
There
their
you go.
life. You
There
see
you
what I'm
go,
saying?
Kev.
So
There you go,
right, even
Kev.
though, so when we get to the things of even with my daughters and they're older now, even even though I have to make sure that they know that they're protected. So one of the questions I say, well, how do we make sure that our women, don't feel like they're unprotected if they got to come and let us know when there's an issue? So things like that, man. I've been dealt with all that kind of stuff there, but the
It's
norm
20.
is they got dudes that stepped up, and that's
It's
not recorded.
2022. It's 2022. Let's put the real story out there, man. I've
Hmm.
listened to a lot of nonsense for a couple of years, and do fucked up shit happen. Yes, that's part of life. Everything ain't fucking copacetic in fine and dandy. Yes, there is messed up situations. You gotta understand that that's the hierarchy of life. They're gonna be people that's on some fucked up shit. They're gonna be some people that's on some
Yeah,
regular
they gonna
shit.
always have an
Like
argument
some,
on both sides, man.
it
And I was
has to
telling them,
be. It has
right,
to
I was
be. You know
telling
what
the
I'm saying, Kev?
manosphere dudes, they was like, they wouldn't date, simping is dating someone with a kid. Okay, look, dude, you can look at it either way. For me, that was a grown man decision. I'm not gonna
There
have
you
my
go.
kid there, and I didn't mind helping this child out. It's about the child to me. You can feel some kind of way. As long as the
There you
mom
go.
appreciate a few things, I'm good with it. It
There
ain't
you
nothing. It
go.
don't cost you that much when they
And
bitch
that
about child support. Man, you talking about a few funky $100 a month. You can get a whole nother job and make that.
exactly,
That ain't
exactly,
shit.
yo. Cause for the average motherfucker, they ain't getting hit extremely
Right.
hard like that. They not getting for the average motherfucker.
No,
Y'all
they
niggas
looking at
looking,
these superstars. That's
yeah.
great, man. That's 100 million. The nigga a billionaire. That's change, chump change, man. And the
Come
woman
on
was
now.
with him for 20 something years. Come on, man. Had this nigga. Yeah,
And this is
salute. Give a
not us.
fuck about
This is
that.
not us. This is trust and believe. This is not me being no sucker for no woman or nothing like that. Trust and believe. I
Right.
understand dudes struggle. Trust and believe. But come on now.
Mm.
If you played the game, and you had that kid. You have to take care of that kid. It is what it is.
Yeah,
Is the shit fucked up the way the system works? Of course, especially as a black person, of course it's gonna be fucked up. Do y'all really think they brought us over here to treat us fairly, for us to be on the same stage as them?
That ain't gonna never happen.
Come
hey,
on now, if you in
I
power,
don't
why
even
would you?
expect it. Right.
If
Right. I
you in
wouldn't even
power,
expect it.
come on now.
I'm gonna tell y'all this. This the balance. So you mean to tell me in the the year 2000 and something that men are still getting played like this? When we have multiple streams about guys getting caught up with baby mamas. Like how is that happening? It's because dudes are having sex with. We always talk about unproductive women, unproductive this. Guys are just getting too horny and want to just have sex.
Come on now.
Dude,
Well,
that's
see,
why you
it's
having
different.
these kids with
You're
these
right,
women.
and it's different now because right now, everybody know what the game is. Even the youngsters. Don't get them pregnant, dude. Don't get them pregnant. Focus on yourself. Don't even think about a child. This is what I tell some of you, man. Don't even think about family and all that till you make 25. You get 20, and the same thing when I told my girl, you make it to 25, you get to learn yourself and do a little traveling and stuff like that. Get your own apartment, establish yourself as an individual first, and then you do what you want. You know.
Hey Kev, I understood that when I was a youngster. When I was
Yeah,
14,
man.
I
I
knew
wasn't
that
trying to
shit.
get.
This is
Yeah, I wasn't trying to do
that's what's
that.
so funny. It's like, yo, a lot of shit I be hearing right now. This shit was going on back then. That's what I'm saying when I hear people try to bring up history. Yeah, you wasn't actually there, so you didn't have that experience to understand where history is. This is history, like the saying goes, history repeats itself a lot of times.
Hmm.
But that's when I
Because I
be
went through
telling
this shit
people,
in the '90s. This shit that I be hearing
Yeah, this
nowadays,
the same. Yeah, it's the
the
same
same
thing,
old
man.
shit. It's the same old
Right,
shit,
just
just
reckless because
repackaged.
we had partners back then, man. I had a partner with 8 9 kids. He was the old Creole, good looking hustling nigga. Nigga ain't never had a job, but he was the popular dude. That kind. And then they have
Let
three
me
in
jump
every
off this panel.
neighborhood.
Let me jump off this panel. Let me jump off that panel. That sounds like me.
They had three in every neighborhood, man, that had a bunch of kids. That's all. And they had like three different women that had multiple children. Now
Mhm.
they can overrun the little area now, but it was always that. And it's just a reckless thing.
Real talk. Real talk.
Hmm.
Well, we got somebody up
Right.
here who just that pulled up.
Yo,
That
What's
look like
happening?
hold on,
real
that's
Yo,
my
deal.
homie. That's my
that's
homie
real
right there.
deal.
That's real
Real
What's
deal
deal.
going
right
on?
there. I ain't see
What's
real
going on,
deal in a
gentlemen?
minute.
Respect to y'all. Respect to y'all,
What's going
gentlemen.
on with you?
what's
Salute
happening?
to you,
What's
family.
happening?
Man, so now everybody is getting tired of the old, tired, stale ass talking points that are obtuse, I see. Because they act like every motherfucker going through child support. I'm like, yes, that is a serious issue, but we also got other agendas as black men that we got to conquer as well. We can't
Mm.
just focus on one side of the situation. I'm not talking about women. I'm just talking about other agendas. Like if
Nah,
Hmm.
talk
Kane
about it, real deal.
has an
Talk
apprentice,
about it.
if Kane has an apprenticeship and he needs three young brothers, he needs to be able to find some sourcing off of either the market, internet, a community center, or just pull up to the basketball courts and try to proposition and see who trying to be able to get work.
Hmm.
Now,
Exactly.
when
Exactly.
it comes to situations of child support, I'm not saying that it's something to look over, but like you said, strap up, nigga.
There you go.
Strap
Yeah.
There
up,
you
fool.
go.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
Yeah, don't leave it
Strap.
up to them. I mean, you already know the game. The hustle is what it is. They can get their own Section 8, some that feel that kind of way. You go get trap finance, man. Just avoid the trap. We know this. We already know that, and that's only a few women that's trying to do it like that.
Because
So
Uh oh.
now
Uh
my
oh,
only
Kev.
issue,
Uh oh, Kev.
my only issue is with child support is the dues when the children are not dead. and they still paying child, and they've been tested DNA testing in the children out there, and I just think that needs to stop. The rest of that stuff,
Well, in
man, you could deal with
California,
that.
they switched the father of record law. In California, they switched the father of record law because that's the scam where it was the father of record where you're not even in the hospital and they just throw your name on it. Then you turn to find out you got a kid and you find out four years later that wait a minute, you behind on something?
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
that's absolutely dirty work.
Michigan, you can still just put a name down.
Oh, that's dirty work. That
Yeah,
I've heard
just
about that.
literally
That's
put it
dirty
right.
work.
Just literally put a name down. People never even knew the woman. They just picked
Schwarzenegger had to
somebody with a
change
good
that shit for
job.
California.
You know,
Schwarzenegger had to
just pick a
change that
dude
shit
with
for
a good
Damn.
job,
California. So
and the
Kamala,
dudes
she was
can't
the
get
main
on.
one using cases like that. Kamala was the main one using cases like that. And Schwarzenegger, when his last year in office, switched to father record shit. Now in Illinois, I think they still got that in Illinois and Michigan as
Mhm.
well.
Damn,
But
that's crazy. I've heard about it, but that right there is crazy. I've definitely heard about it. I have to deal with it 'cause I never lived in none of them
Right.
states, but that is crazy right there.
That's like Pat Swilling, the New Orleans Saints defensive end, man. There was a story out here. Two of the kids wasn't his, and he just stuck with it, But I'm like, huh, see, that kind of thing, and they just running that game. But dudes need to prepare. You need to watch out for that too, you know.
But that's even going into the money aspect. It was funny, like I hear guys talking about all that. Man, one of my homeboys, his girl got him jammed talking about paying more child support. But dude was making pretty decent amount of money. And so he was staying with the chick, and the chick thought she was gonna, get over by trying to take him to court, get more money and stuff, because he wasn't on no kind of court order. He was just giving her
Mm,
like 300, I think he was like giving her $300 a month. And he was putting it in the account and had all the accounts set up and everything to where the record show he was putting the money in that account. So when it came down
okay.
to it, she had a little disagreement with him. And so her little friend, friends talk him into that crazy shit. End up telling him, yeah, man, you can make some money, this and that, and you can get more money from him and all that. And she was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Went to court, judge like, okay, so where you stay at? She was like, oh, I did stay with him, but I moved back in with my mama. He was like, well, who was paying, the rent? He like, he was. Who's paying the utilities? He was. Well, what did you have to do? All she had to do was just pay for food. You know,
pay for
she had
food.
to pay for nothing else but food, and everything else he had took care of. And so the dude was like, "Hold on, so you mean to tell me out of all this, dude paid for all this and everything, and all you did was just pay for food, and now you trying to break up with him and get more money that he was already giving you $300?" She was like, yeah." Man, that judge came back and told him, he was like, starting this month, you pay $75 every 2 weeks. She
gotta,
was crushed. And
gotta.
man, it was crazy as hell. That's why I be saying I hear some of the stories and I be like, I get it, bro, because the shit crazy out here. But a lot of dudes, they get that bad treatment because like the situation you in, you make a lot of money. Why put yourself in that situation, man? Even like I keep saying, even with hitting chicks with condoms. I told guys on the panel the other day, when I turned like 21, man, I had a reverence to not fuck these hoes because I didn't want no ratchet ass baby mama, and I didn't want, no. I always had homeboys that had ugly baby mamas, and they always like, them my baby mama. I'm like, what you just say? Man, them my baby mama. They can't even hardly talk. Like the chick not all that impressive. And then on top of that, when it came down to it, a lot of dudes I'd be like, bruh, why you steady smashing? Man, I don't like her like that, bruh. Then you had a kid, then you go through, man, she treat me like you don't remember when I told you why you smashing this chick that you don't like?
You gotta
You know,
get to the
and
chopper.
yeah, a
You
lot of
gotta get
guys
to
don't
the chopper.
understand that, man. I be like, bro, why are you smashing these chick you don't like? I understand you trying to hit, cool by all any means. But like I keep telling guys, when you smash these
And
chicks
then
like this,
having smashing
yeah,
raw.
Yeah,
yeah. You
exactly,
gotta take
exactly.
everything that comes with that,
Yeah,
man. Come on,
you
bro.
got no complaint. That's it.
Yo,
That's your
if a
thing.
nigga come to me and tell me some bullshit like, yo, shorty bubbled up or whatever, and yo, it's because I was out there smack, nigga, that's your problem, nigga. It is what it is, nigga. At the end of the day, it is what it is, nigga. They created
Yeah,
rubbers a
you just
long
ready
time
on
ago.
take your lick. That's all.
there you,
That's all.
there
We
you
just
go,
take our
Kev.
lick and keep on. We don't cry about it. Shit, we just keep on stepping, bro.
There you go, Kev. It's real talk. I have no patience for a nigga that's telling me that bullshit. Like, yo, I'm out here smashing raw. If you one of them niggas that you don't like rubbers and you wanna feel the cooch, you wanna feel the slit. That's why I call it the slit. You wanna feel the slit? It's on
You nigga funny, man. I didn't know Kane had that wittiness, man. I didn't know you had me at a
Yeah,
cherry.
yeah, cause I'm getting used to it now. Cause I usually I have a hard time. Cause I don't deal with people with their bullshit. If you want some bullshit, it is what it is. I don't really fuck with you like that. But the I got it. I got it. I got it. Real deal. I got it. In 2022, I'm bringing it. When it comes to mess with the God's corner, pulling up on Kane, and we having real conversations. I'm not holding no punches. I don't hold punches with dudes that I fuck with in real life. Dudes that, and I know people say this is YouTube. It is what it is. We talking to real people, aren't we? Aren't we talking to real people? So why be up here trying to act like you something that you're not? Talk that real
I don't
shit.
know
If you
how
gonna
to.
talk that
I
shit,
don't know
talk
how
that
to be
shit.
no other way than who I
There you
am,
go.
man. I'm the
There you
same
go,
dude in
Kev.
person.
There you go, Kev. This is
But
why she is the dude
some
that
dude
actually.
be living through they alter ego on damn YouTube. Like really, damn
Yeah, she
dude.
is the dude that actually pulled up to my spot. She been to my spot. Me and she, this is my brother. Real talk,
Facts,
real
man.
shit. He pulled up to
So
my shop, pulled up
consistent.
to his crib. We
So
really politic on some real shit, and that's what we need to get into in this 22. I know everybody trying to make bread. I know a lot of people seeing a lot of people making money with this YT shit. A lot. Not, let's cut all that bullshit out. We here to make a real power move. That's what we doing. We are here to make a real power move, and we got to
Like,
come together and make a power move and make some real
like,
changes.
like when it comes to this shit, man. Like me and I literally took a break of YouTube for like 3 months, and me and she
That's
was
what I'm
working in the
saying.
background doing business when it comes to real estate, find these buyers, find these properties, and getting ready. So when they start gentrifying motherfuckers, and when they really start like getting motherfuckers asses when it comes to these prices, me
Yeah,
and she,
I be
what we
watching.
do?
I watch your channel. I watch your channel, man. Boy,
I'm
you be
waiting.
going fast. You got to listen. You got to break it down a little bit for the layman, because I be seeing you
Yeah,
going through
I
the
know.
math. Right, right. You got to get a beginner's guide. So that's like me with the stock. Well, me and you could jump right in the middle of the whole stock market. But then I
Yeah,
also learned I got to bring people along because I get what you're saying, especially with the areas you was pointing out. But you're doing the numbers, but you're doing them fast. Like, okay, I get it. I'm getting it. I'll rewind it, but you got to do a beginner's guide.
You need the little. You need
Yeah,
the. I get you,
because
Kev. I get you, Kev.
yeah, because he picking the right areas and he telling what the rate is in that area and what it was previously and when it's going up, and he telling you how to do it across state lines. Now my ass in Louisiana, so I'm looking southern, but he got the
hmm
good. He's showing you the numbers where you could potentially just catch it on an upswing. No different than I do with the stock game.
Yeah,
exactly,
because
exactly.
me personally, me and she in politics. She know what it is with me. Like I'm a do that rehab homes. That's the business I have right now, sitting in my hands. I rehab homes. I buy and sell homes. That's what I do, and that's
See,
something I learned. That's something I learned dealing with a partner I have from New York, and that's what I do. I moved to Atlanta, and that's what I'm doing right now. I still got it going. It's just that it slowed up last year. It slowed up, so I eased up a little bit and I have to do other things. But that's a corporation I got right now in my hands where I buy and sell homes.
Everything slowed up with that COVID thing again. I was just looking at in
It's
Israel, they
picking up
just
though. It's picking up though.
yeah.
Banks right
But see,
now is
we had to
throwing
we
out.
is
Banks
yeah,
right
it's
now is throwing
bottoming
out
out.
low interest rate. Banks
Hmm.
right now is throwing low interest rates. I've been having all type of banks hollering at me. Like the interest rates right now is extremely low. I'm about to get right.
Yeah.
I'm about to get right back into it.
Same thing for the stock market. Those good dividend stocks are real cheap right now, like Nike and shit like that, and some of the car charging companies and stuff like that. So
Mm,
it's
mm,
all relative.
mm,
and
mm.
I was reporting on all that shit all last year. So everybody that just starting to know who I am, I still keep all the videos, so you can see how wrong I was, how right I was, or how was I in the middle, was in the ballpark. But me and Sheed is literally looking at Alpharetta, Macon situations that are surrounding in College Park. And with New
Mm.
York, I'm looking at the Bronx because it seemed like the Bronx is the last cheap
Yeah.
haven. So that means
Yeah.
Edenwald, Edison Avenue, Washington Place.
Uh-oh.
I'm all looking at
Uh-oh.
those areas. So that means that I need to send Kane the deals. That's why I send
There
you
you go.
first
There
go
you
on
go.
price.
There you go. There you go, real deal. That's real talk. That's real talk.
Let me ask
You
let me
ain't
ask
been
you a
lying.
question. Is places like Detroit with that cheap housing out there similar to like the old steel mill towns and Pittsburgh and the coal mining towns? Those areas is just pretty much done, huh?
Ah,
Detroit,
they,
the Detroit has areas where it's 200,000, but the $5,000 homes that are still
Yeah.
like 20, 30,000. I'm not a fan of Detroit. So you coming from, I'm putting you in a biased position, man. Because I love New York. When
Mm.
I saw the New York properties were at $1 million neighborhood, and this chick in uh Rashid can tell you, Lonzo can tell you, her property we can get for 360, 375. She has
What's
liens.
what's the value on it though? What's the value? What's the back end value?
So you would have to spend 150 on rehab. Then the holding costs would be around 4 months. So that means that your interest rate, your payments that you gotta pay to your lender, that'll be 4 to 5 months. So the after repair value would be 750,000.
Right.
Mm.
So
You know, a good raw idea. I was, going over the whole McDonald's situation. It really was into real estate, not actually selling burgers. And the products that they sold was all just strictly to pay for the land. I think it's a good idea if you could get a little small population, maybe a little bit above, right at middle class, and open up a coffee shop in that particular house and stuff, and let that pay for the property. That still is a good idea to get, just there's something marketable to pay for the land.
Mm. Okay. Real deal. Jump on that. You got that.
so when it comes to the situation, if we all like right here, if this was like a private Zoom meeting, I would say
Mm.
one, what is everybody's buy box? Because Rashid already has a cash bar in Atlanta, Georgia that's about to be ready. So if I gave a deal that not gave, but say if we did a deal that was in Edenwald in the Bronx, New York, I find something that's either in Fort Independence around that area or closer to Washington Place. I would try to get
Mm.
people that are in liens, delinquency, notice of default, notice of trustee sale, something where this person is in some type of financial hardship, pre foreclosure. And that's where I would
Mm.
get a motivated person. I would say, I can be able to close this motherfucker within 10 days.
Damn, real deal. You dropping
Un-
some game. You dropping some
within
game on them right now. You
within
dropping some game.
within 10 days and the cash liquid that they pretty much see, they're in a tough spot. They will take the deal.
Mm.
With
Mm.
Rashid and Lonzo, me and Edenwald had to literally go back and forth 5, 6 times, and now we're about to be more closer to get that shit done. So that just shows that it's a follow up game. But I'm here for it, man. Because right now, man, the Bronx is about to be the last, only cheapest place, man. Brooklyn.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
talk about Brooklyn. Everybody's talk about how Brooklyn is super expensive.
Yeah. They tore down all them one families. You can go out there and grab a one family right now. You tear that shit down and turn that shit into like a 3, 4 family and come up. I've seen it. I've seen it done. I saw that. That was one place where I did a legitimate business. When I did a legitimate business move, when I sold my one family crib out there, I sold that shit for like damn near 800,000, and I only paid about 470 for it when I first got it. So that was a come up for me. That was a power move on a legitimate move. And there's a lot of that is happening in New York right now. They tearing down all those one families. If you got a one family house in New York right now, shit. The amount of money you can make for that shit right now, because they're gonna tear that shit down and turn it into little four family quarters where you can make some good bread. I just sold my own joint out there, matter of fact, not too long ago. I sold my own crib out there for 800,000. I got a
Hmm.
nice little, I got a nice little piece of change off that. I got a nice little piece
Hmm.
of change off that. But that's what I'm saying. There's moves out there to be made. You just gotta go out there and get it.
Let me pull up one
Oh,
of the shits that I
well,
gave.
Sir O, Sir O, salute to Sir
Warren
O.
Buffett. The best time to invest is when there's blood in the water or tragedy.
There you go. And the tragedy
Hmm.
was last year. This year it started easing up, but like I said, I've been getting a lot of emails and mails from banks where it's like, "Yo, man, you get your jumping for 2% right now." So right now, I'm looking to be buying. I'm looking to be buying right now. That's what I'm checking to do. I'm trying to buy up a lot of land space, especially that Atlanta, man. Atlanta, you know how many places I see right now that they're tearing down, where it was nothing but trees, where it's trees getting chopped down and motherfuckers is building on it. They building on and putting little quick houses, houses you could build. I could build you a house right now for about 50 grand.
Right.
Right
And
now, I
see, I
could
got
build
I
you a
got
house.
a little brother in New
Depending on,
Orleans, man. He has about 13 or 20 units now, but
mm,
he was able to, and this is rental, but he was able to dodge that 2008 thing because New Orleans went through the Hurricane Katrina in '05, and
there
he
you go.
came in it 6 or 7 and start getting a little properties 2 or 3 blocks off of St. Charles, which is prime real estate, kind of similar to the Bronx now. The property,
Mm,
it was 450 for a 2 bedroom. Now it's 1,500 for a 2 bedroom on the same block. So he was able
mm,
to capitalize on that because see, we didn't get hit with the housing, with a lot of that shit down in New Orleans because we was already under. We was already done after Katrina. So everything was on a building thing. So I've seen it done. And so, and it's shame to say, like I was reading Warren Buffett book and stuff like that, and Peter Lynch, and Robert Kiyosaki, and I was like, well, the best time to invest. People don't like it, but when there's a tragedy, blood in the water, and learn from the experience, and that's how you just
yeah,
build wealth. And
yeah.
that goes across the board on a lot of shit.
There you go, Kev. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. It is what it is. I don't care who would. If I can make some money off the situation, I'm signed up. I'm all the way signed up.
Right. I'm looking at some of these brothers when they hauling out this trash, and when they had these hurricanes, these dudes are leasing these trucks and to pick up trees and debris and shit, making 100,000 in about 3 months, 4 months. They
There you
still
go.
working on that since Ida down here, and they just keeping it rolling. So they could really go from disaster to disaster and get the government contract, and that's what some of them doing. They stop what they're doing and make that money. We could be getting on that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
Mm-hmm.
if we get back on, see, that's what my thing was, my push for politics. We need to get back on the minority shit. I like the black folks thing. That seemed they ain't gonna work with that now because they got us mixed in minorities and diversity and shit. But we need to get capitalize on whatever government contract we can get because we need that 25% in where we can,
Get your
make that
SAM's
same
number.
paper. Right.
Go to SAMS.gov and get your SAM's numbers. SAM.gov. Start
It's a
bidding on
real
these
deal.
contracts. You got your SAM number. You start bidding on it.
Real,
And Kane, I got my personal on the situation, and I also have the deal address. So the
real
neighborhood
deal.
goes for a
Always been.
million.
Real deal. Always been on it. Ever since I first bumped into you on BMT, Real Deal is always on it. He's like his name is perfect. His name is perfect. It means he's the real deal. I bumped into you
And the
first on
rents go
BMT shit. There you
and
go,
the
man.
rent
Go ahead.
and the rents go for 2,100, and the comps
Mm.
on Gunther Avenue, Bronx, New York, 1046-6 on
I know
11/30
exactly.
21.
I know exactly what you talk about, Gunther. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That shit sold for a million. That shit sold for 1,015,000. The comps on 3138 Heath Avenue sold for 800, no, $690,000. So the property that I sent you on that back chat, it
Let
is
me
on the
check that out.
MLS. It is on the MLS. But if you can negotiate that bad boy for 290,
Let me grab
three
a
hundred.
pen. Let me grab a pen. I'm gonna take your information down right now. Real talk. Let me take your information down right now, cause we could probably make something happen. I got family still out there, and I got a family that they got a unit that they could sell. That they thinking about it. They ain't 100% sure yet, but I might have something where we can make a power move, real deal. Where
No
we could
problem.
damn near make a million.
And Rashid can tell you that I have profit sharing agreements. And whenever you look at the contract, anything that you want to be able to either rewrite or add on to it, no problem. I'm very flexible when it comes to this shit. It's $1 million neighborhood, man. So it's 2,100 a month on the rents. It's a pre foreclosure on the MLS. The address is in that
Mm.
back chat.
I'm,
If
I'm
you
I'm
could be
taking
able
I'm taking a picture of that right now because I don't got no pen in me. I'm taking a picture of that right now.
for
I will
sure.
definitely be hollering at you. I definitely will be hollering at you on some real shit because I got some fam that got some property that we can make something happen. I didn't even know you was messing around with NY like that. I didn't know you was messing around with NY like that.
Hey,
Come on, this
Lonzo.
money you made. This money you made, and I gotta shout Lonzo because Lonzo been hitting me up the past couple of days. I ain't really get to politic with him yet, but I gotta talk to Lonzo about some things.
So when it comes to that, it's a pre foreclosure. That's the only thing you need to know. These motherfuckers is about to go belly up. If you have 280 to 310, you can be able to see what you can work with it. The neighborhood is like $1 million in it, so it's literally entrenched in that area.
What
So
is it
it's
like a one
already
family type joint? What is it like a one family type crib? Is it one family crib or
hold
something
on.
that you could tear down and build up?
Hold on. So let me get all the photos. So let me get all the photos. So it's a 3 bed, 2 bath,
Yeah, it
1,200
sounds like a
square
one
feet.
family. Yeah, it sounds like a
Yes,
one
one
family
family.
joint.
So you
What's
can
the
be done
specs on it?
priced
What's
even
the
more.
specs? What's the specs on the land? Is it 40 by 30 or something like that?
So the houses is very close in. So it's
Yeah,
not.
it's New York. It's New York, but you can squeeze something in there. So that's
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
asking if it's a 40 by 30. If it's a 40 by 30, you could squeeze. You could make something happen in there. You could put a little two family in there and come up real quick.
Okay. So the windows needs repair. The windows, if you would have to repair it, the windows, if you want to modernize it with a kitchen island, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the bathtub is porcelain. If you want to change the tiles on the floors, that add some value
I
on
get
it.
it. Yeah, so I'm starting to get it. Shh, hold on. Shh, we on YT. We on YT. Shh, I get it. I'm gonna talk to you on the back end. I'm gonna shout you out. Cause
All
we
right.
probably could make something happen with that. We could probably make something happen with that.
And that's not my
Real
only one,
talk.
man. That's not the only one that I've been bird dogging on. I got another situation that would be now this one is a duplex. Now this is a duplex, 400,000 and 925,000.
Well, yeah, they probably did a little bit, but you can still make something off of that. Like I said, man, my aunt passed away this last year, and I just got a shit. I actually sold a house to my aunt, and like
Mm.
I said, we ended up selling it for about 760 around there, around that number. It's about 760. We made a little change off of that. Can't complain. But there's a lot of that going on, no matter where you at. Even out here in Georgia, where I'm at right now, you know how many places I see where they clearing out trees and they building. She probably can speak to this too. There's probably a couple places that you pass. She and it's like, yo, they clearing out trees and they building. If I could buy that land and had them clear up them trees and build on it, you
Mm.
could, man, there's plenty of money to be made right now. And like I said, I'm actually like a builder. I build houses. It's something I taught myself, and I learned it from a dude that I was messing with in New York before I left New York. He told me all this shit. When it comes to my crib, I don't call nobody to fix my crib. I fix everything. Roofs. I can build a house from the bottom up. The only thing I'll be having a semi struggle with is reading blueprints because blueprints is tricky. It's tricky. I'm learning it, but it's tricky. I could build you a house from the ground up, foundation up. That's type of shit. That's just a skill that I have. That's not even my main skill, but that's just a skill that I have.
But yeah, big dog. This situation in the Bronx that I'm a
That
straight
sounds
fan of.
good, and I know
I got
what's going
two.
on in the Bronx. I know what's going on in the Bronx. 'Cause I got one of my brothers. He's out there in the Bronx. My brother-in-law, he out there in the Bronx. They got a crib out there that they thinking about selling shortly. I'm like, yo, holla at me. But I understand what you're saying. Is money to be made out there? And why
Mhm.
right now? Shit. Shit, you can find you a powerful deal right now in New York right now.
So you can choose from either one because I got one that would be near the Woody Crest area, and that motherfucker is listed for 400,000, and the neighborhood goes for 985,000, eight
Come
hundred
on now.
thousand.
Listen to
So
what you just said. That blows my mind right now. What you just said. Wait a second. Hold on.
because I got comps too.
The crib is at 400 right now. But if you do the right thing with the crib, you could get at least say
7,
800,
8.
7, 8. You could do a quick double up. Oh
Yeah.
man, come on now.
So yeah, man, you got my number. So we already got math. So I'm going to get ready to be able to make these calls. So I do dispatching as well. So all my owner operators out there, man, go get you that 275 a mile with Real Deal, man. And get you
I'm gonna
profitable
shoot you a text. I'm gonna shoot you a text in a little bit, man. I'm gonna shoot you a text in a little bit. We can politic on the phone and talk a little bit more about it.
for
We can
sure.
talk a little bit more about it. Real talk, cause that's what I do, man. Really, really into that's what I do. And a lot of this shit I learned from watching YT videos. A lot of me being able to fix cribs and shit like that. I learned from YT. Me and Sheet always talk about this shit. A lot of me being able to fix houses. So I learned from YT, and it's early YT. This is early YT where I learned how to fix cribs. And I had dudes that, you know what I'm saying? I got a solid dude right now at NY that taught me a lot. I used to have him come fix my house. That's how I learned a lot. And I made a business out this shit. I have a business right now. Kane Industries, look it up. That's me, Kane Industries. Now, do you think I give a damn about being doxxed? I'm telling y'all what it is. I jump up here and I cam up, I show y'all my face. It is what it is. I'm a legitimate businessman. Dox me if you want to. That's more business for me. Because that's what I do. I'm a businessman.
McCain, respect to you, man. Rashid, salute. I'm
Salute to
about to
you.
get up out of here,
Salute to
big
you.
dog. I
All
got
right,
some
salute
calls
to
to
you,
knock
real
out
deal.
for sure.
Do your thing, fam. I know how you go. Do your thing. Do your thing, fam. And I'm glad to see you, man. I ain't see you in a minute, man. I appreciate seeing you. I ain't see you in a minute. Salute to you, fam.
All right, salute. Peace.
Peace. Sheed, you still there? Or you working? 'Cause I know
Yeah,
she's a hard worker.
I'm still here, but I'm always working.
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
work
Yo, you
like
on you on the job scene right now? 'Cause I know you probably on the job scene right now.
yeah, man, I am. Like LAR movement, we still moving around here, man.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Shout out Shaka Noodle. He just pulled up in the building. But yeah, man, this is real talk. For the deuce, we coming with heat. We gonna take it back. We gonna take it back to the foundation. That's what's going on with the deuce. The dudes. When y'all see me in certain chat boxes, it's gonna be me fucking with the real ones. If you ain't on no real shit, I ain't sign up. I don't got no time. I'm not. I'm only here for but so much longer. I'm on my second half of my life. It is what it is. I'm telling y'all some real shit. I'm on the second half of my life. I'm only here for but so much longer. So I'm only giving brothers knowledge. That's how you keep your name going. That's me. How you think that book that a lot of people live by, they live by that book, is because of the motherfucker that did the due diligence. I'm here for a short period of time. Yes, I know a lot of times people see me. I like having fun. Yes, fun is definitely part of my life. I'm always gonna have fun. Trust and believe that. But I'm on my second half. I'm gonna do it for a certain age. It is what it is. Salute to all my brothers that made it to a certain age. Salute to them. You know what I'm saying? I'm here, and whatever knowledge, because you know what I'm saying. I be hearing you shit. You always say knowledge of self. I hear you shit. You always be spitting out there. I'm out here to give brothers knowledge of self. That's my duty. That's my duty as being who I am. Is to give brothers knowledge of self, and that's what it is.
Yeah,
So
cause I
salute
be,
to everybody out there.
yeah, man, cause I was just be telling guys, man, focus on what you want to do in life. Gain that knowledge, man. See, a lot of dudes, man, I keep telling them, even if you go in relationships or not, man, you still got to figure out what you want out of life. You know, you being misguided and misdirected because you don't know yourself. You're not putting yourself around people that's gonna help you. You know, I was listening to Zoe Williams. That's one of Art and homeboys, and he
Yeah, I
said
know
if
Zoe.
you're not teaching me, you lying to me. I was like, woo.
That's cooking right there. That's a good quote right there. I like that. I like that quote. I might steal it from him. I'm gonna shoot him a text or email. I be messing with Zoe. I be messing with Zoe. I'm gonna comment on one of the streams and say that. Like, yo, that's powerful. That's a powerful. Say it again. Say it one more time, G. One more time.
So basically, he said, if you're not teaching me, you lying to me. We get so much
Mm,
in the aspect of, just listening to panels and what are you actually learning? I mean, because the same stuff is being taught. We always talk, oh man, they're going to go with the same talking point. Like, what are you learning from this channel? Well, how is this person making your life better? Because technically, the manosphere, Gold Professor, as he say, the manosphere is a thinking man's space. Not the manosphere, the manosphere is a thinking man's space. And what are we doing to influence one another? You know, the thought patterns, man. You got to understand the position that you hold in this society.
damn, we lost She while he was cooking. He was cooking up some stew. He was eating some stewed chicken. She was cooking up some stewed chicken, man. We lost
And
She.
that's that's
She,
some of that
you blanked
that's
out.
some of that roti. That's some of that roti, man.
Yeah, that roti. That's that roti with curry chicken.
Yeah, that curry, man. That roti, man.
Man, I ain't pull up you in a minute, man. I be missing your jump offs, man. We ain't get to politic in a minute, man. I'm gonna have to hit you later on. We have a powerful conversation. You know how conversation is always powerful. I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to hit
man.
you up
Yeah,
later on. We talk about it. But I had to pull
yeah,
up on your stream. I heard what you was talking about. You know what I'm saying? I popped up on my sleep. I don't know what it was. Not even on my sleep. 'Cause I don't say I rest. I rest. I just get my rest on. I popped up on my rest and I heard my boy cooking up here. And I was like, yo, you come up here and support my brother and show him love and pull up. Because you know me, I barely pull up on streams. It's rare that you see me pull up on some shit unless I'm doing it. And I got to start doing that for a lot of brothers that I really fuck with. I got to pull up on them and we have a good conversation. This is a good conversation. She, this is good talk, man. You put some good game out there, man.
yeah. My thing always, man, is to try to push the envelope and have the conversation about the gender because that's what everybody entertained with. But after that, let's talk about money. You know,
Well, talking bullshit nowadays is a moneymaker. So there were a lot of brothers out there talking some bullshit, trying to keep the bullshit going. They move like they would have called the motherfuckers agents, but they move like agents. They would be out here talking some goofy shit. You know me, I'm a 5%er. God to the day that I die. It is what it is. And I know I deal with the 85ers. So a lot of times it's a struggle for me to talk to 85ers. If y'all know what 85ers is, and I know a lot of y'all don't know who 85ers are because y'all are 85. Let me get out of here. Let me not do that. Not on my boy shit. We over here
get to
messing
the
with
chopper.
shit.
Get to the chopper.
I want to chop. I want to chop. I want to chop right now. But salute to my bro Sheed, man. Real talk. Real talk, man. I fucks with my guy. I fucks with my guy. Salute to you, fam. You doing your thing over here, man. You holding it down the right way.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to present a light, man, because like I said, I'm married. I don't have a dog in the fight when it comes to certain topics. I get it. Some women are horrible, but not all. You know,
Mm,
and painting that picture, you know, that's just it. You just painting a picture. In
there
the
you
end,
go.
everybody don't move the same. All women don't move in a collective. If that's the case, then there wouldn't be too many men that are married. If all women moved in the collective.
And the funny stuff about that is the same with the men. We ain't on the same page. There's a hierarchy to life. Whether you want to believe it or not, there's a hierarchy to life. Some motherfuckers is bound to just fail. You was born into failure. You will be a failure. I know it sounds harsh, like a motherfucker. It sounds harsh. And a lot of times I speak to people in the real world, they take it like it's harsh. Some of y'all motherfuckers is doomed to be nothing. Your life means nothing. I know that sounds mad fucked up, but it is what it is. It's real talk. Same thing with same thing on the female side. Some of y'all are doomed to be nothing. and accept it. It is what it is. You know it. If you doing to be about nothing, you know it. Trust and believe. You know it. You know it, and it is what it is. Be that person. Don't jump up on the internet and try to be that person that you're not. So the internet, this is like a virtual space. Like I always hear motherfuckers say, "Yo, this is YouTube." What does that mean? You talking to real people, ain't you? But this is YouTube. Shout out to my nigga She once again, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat box, man. It's Kane the God. I'm here with my bro She, man. We up here talking. We up here just politicking.
Yeah, man. But that's what I always say, man. You could be anybody on here. You know,
There you go.
I tell people, man, I could be um a guy out of California. I could be a guy out of New York. You know, I'm in and everywhere in this space. You know,
There you
I
go.
could set my precedent. I can um be somewhat of a dictator in a small country, but I'm over here with a visa, to kind of gain the intellect and the knowledge of the black people in this community, see how we see things, I can have an
Mhm.
accent, man, and I can come about my ways and all that stuff, man. Like, bro,
Shit. What was
you
that
can
shit?
be you
What
can
was
be
that
in and everybody. Yeah, man.
She, that's a good one, yo. She, you ain't shit. What was
Hey,
that?
man, but
Just
that was the whole thing, man. I could be who I want to be on here, bro.
that's gonna have me laughing for the next 30 minutes. That's gonna have me laughing. She, that is some funny shit you just said just now, bro. That's real talk. You could be who you want to be.
And see, that's the biggest thing, man.
Give me your
That's
accent
what
again,
people.
She. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun on the walkout.
That- Shit, what do you want? Go make what they want you bet? Yeah,
Oh man, yo, that's what I
yeah,
want to see, man. I want to see this type of vibe pop off for this whole dudes moving on, man. Let's take it to the next level, fellas. Let's take it to the next.
man,
Oh, we got perfect timing in the building. Salute to perfect timing. That's my guy right there. I fucks with him. You mad animated. You mad animated. You like to bust the rhymes. You like to bust the rhymes around these places. My nigga, perfect timing, man. Salute to that bro, man. Real
oh,
talk.
hit you,
You trying to lay down.
hit you with the ya.
Yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
perfect,
There you
perfect
go.
got that energy, boy. I was like,
Yeah,
boy, he was a
mhm.
problem in school, boy, cause
There you go.
perfect got all the energy, bro.
There you go. There you go. But I appreciate it though, she. This was a good conversation. We had some good brothers come up here and break it down and talk about certain things. A good
Yeah,
topic, good topic, good topic, fam. And
yeah,
I
man.
had to pull up on you. I had to pull up on you and show you some love.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go ahead and get ready to drop off, but that's my thing, man. I want to start this whole thing where guys start coming in with some type of knowledge, man.
There you
Talk
go.
about business. Like I say, more or less, it's the structure, man. You gotta have structure far as giving these young guys some. It's like right now we have no hope. We doomed. These women taking over. All these hoes are winning, and all this. I mean, the only way the hoes will win if you let them win. That's the only way you
Mm,
win the game is somebody let you win. To a
mm,
degree, if you fight to win, you're gonna win. If you have the
mm.
skills, you're gonna win. See all
There
this
you go.
stuff about, man, we got no control over what. So basically, we just give up.
There you
You
go.
know,
They threw the towel in. They
yeah.
threw the towel in. They threw the towel in. And some of them stand on the side like Rocky when Apollo Creed was getting his ass whooped. They wanted to throw the towel, but he threw the towel too late. I'm King to God, man. I'm about to fire up. I'm about to fire something up, and then keep the conversation going and keep the vibe going. Because you got me open right now. You got me open right now, she. You got me open. I think I might have to fire something up and keep it going. We could talk
And
about it.
like I say,
Yeah,
the
she.
biggest thing is, man, we got to hold ourselves accountable for what we doing out here. Are we teaching the youth or are we destroying them? We see it
Mm,
already through a lot of the women who get destroyed by their own mothers and grandmas selling them, that don't marry out and go get an education and all this stuff. And we see in the backlash, now they're in their 40s and 50s talking about they want to get married. We see the backlash amongst these men who, having this conversation about these women are this, these women are that. What older men that you hung around that told you that was your only option? The SYSBM brothers, to them, if you want to do that, let that be your movement, not no one else teaching you that's the only way. If that's your movement, let it be. That's why I don't understand this whole divesting and SYSBM. If I'm leaving the community, why do I have to announce it?
Yeah.
Why do
If
I
you're
have
gonna
to
do it, do it.
participate? Yeah, why
If
do
you're
I have
gonna
to
do it, do
participate
it.
in all that?
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, do it. Like you saying shit, if you're gonna do it, do it. Stand on your word. All you have is your word. Your word is your bond. That's how that shit flex. If it's not working out for you, slide. What you think the motherfuckers did from the other countries? That shit wasn't working out for them in their country. What they did, they slide. See, but that's the issue. A lot of y'all had that issue where it's like, yo, hold on. But they just was allowed to come over here. That's what happened as time changed. They was allowed to just come over here. Y'all was brought up. It's a difference if you was brought over here. It's a difference if you buy something and you steal something. Let's take it there. There's a difference if you buy something and you steal something. You were stolen. They bought the way they flexing right now. That's why it's a difference for them. And if you stole something, you see somebody buy something, you hate the motherfucker that you seen buy something like, oh, you can afford to buy it. They was given that. They was given that. They was invited. As much as you want to stand on whatever you want to stand on, they was invited. I know it's crazy and it sounds crazy and it might be a twisted thing, but yo, that's the cards that you was dealt. You have to work with the cards that you was dealt with. The cards that you was dealt, you have to work with that shit. Real talk. Lonzo in the building. He just woke up. He just woke up. I already know, fam. I know how it go. I've been up since however. I don't know. I rarely sleep. I rest and I pop up and I be listening to certain cats talk they shit. But I understand what I got to do with my joint, with my channel. Like, man, I ain't holding no punches. I ain't holding no, because there's a lot of real shit I could tell y'all motherfuckers, but I understand where I'm at. I understand where I'm at, so I'll be holding back a little bit. But I'm about to be on motherfuckers' neck. I'm about to be on motherfuckers' neck. I'm not playing no games with nobody in this deuce deuce. That's what I'm calling it. The whole year, that's what I'm calling it. Deuce deuce. Little 22. Little 22 of St. Ives. I'm not even a beer drinker. But a little deuce deuce of St. Ives. That's what I'm bringing to the table. And I might bust that bottle over y'all head. Because I ain't playing with y'all motherfuckers, man. It is what it is. We have to understand hierarchy. If you a motherfucker that ain't about nothing, it is what it is. Stay in your lane. Let's take it back to the 90s. Let's take it back to the 90s because motherfuckers understood hierarchy. If you ain't about nothing, it is what it is. If you want to be talking some bullshit, it is what it is. I'm not here for bread. I'm not here for bread. I can make bread out there in the real world. I'm not here for bread. If I can make some bread, yes. Why wouldn't I? Are you stupid? Of course. I'll take that bread. But I'm giving y'all some real shit. That's what I'm bringing to the table. I'm bringing nothing but real shit to the table. And once again, like I said, shout out my bro She. This is my bro. I smack one of y'all faces off right now. Feel me? Because I know he a real brother. And it is what it is. Shout out. Salute. You got it, She, though. It's your show.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and drop down, man. But like I said, and I'm gonna keep beating the horse, man. Get you some life insurance. If we can insure our cars, we can insure our houses, we can get health insurance. But you mean to tell me you're not insuring your life? Insuring your finances over time to where everything will be okay. You know, like I said, it takes two in a household right now. If I die, it's a possibility my wife can struggle, but she can keep the house. But if both of
Mhm.
us are needed to pay for that house, that's gonna be a hard struggle. Most of the time, kids they end up having to move out the neighborhood that they really love, they grew up in, only because the family member died. It's not like the dad or the mom wanted to die. It's an unfortunate thing, but the kids and everybody else have to suffer and the consequences. So man, worry about yourself, man. Even if, like I keep telling guys, even if you don't have a kids, who's gonna be over you when you die? Like, who's gonna make sure you being buried, make sure you being taken care of? Who's gonna be over your estate? You know, if you don't want kids, by all means, you still gotta have some structure in your life.
There you go. And the man, yeah, I haven't been. Yeah, well, no, man, I ain't. I've heard you on streams. I've been around. I've just been in the cut. I've been in the cut, but the man, for sure, you ain't seen me. Purge. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, the purge was fit. The purge was spicy. The purge was spicy, but I'm still around. I'm here. I'm here. Pull up on the God's corner. Pull up on the God's corner. I heard you get spicy the other day. You know what I'm saying? You bring something to the table. Everybody brings something to the table. Lonzo, you already know I'm gonna shout you out. I'm gonna shout you out later on today. I'm gonna shout you out. And like I said, I got a brother-in-law that's looking to find out about some info about the life insurance. I'm gonna throw his number at you. I'm gonna throw your number at him, so he can holler at you and break it down, and y'all can get into it. I'm gonna holler at you later on today, cause I know I missed your jump off. I just been on some tired shit. Really and truly, I really have been on some tired shit. That's why I've been missing in action. But I'm gonna holler at you later on for sure, Alonzo. And the man, I see you. I see you, fam. I'm about to fire up something on in a minute. The man, if you want to pull up, you can pull up and we can talk some real shit. We just gonna talk about whatever, whatever. What we got going on for the 20 for the deuce. What we got going on for the deuce. I want to hear what brothers got going on for the deuce. I don't want to hear the same argument. I've been in certain spaces for a long ass time. I'm not trying to hear the same argument. If you ain't trying to make power moves for yourself, I really don't care. If you struggling with a chick, nigga, you think I care? I do not care, nigga. I'm not struggling with chicks. And chicks know not to come. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save that for my channel. But yo, she, my guy, my G, we have to link up, fam. We have to link up on some real shit. I haven't seen you face to face in a little hot second. I know you busy. I'm busy. It is what it is. But no, I got nothing but love for you. Salute to you, family. Salute to
Yeah,
you, my
man.
guy.
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and drop this right now. But as it stand, man, like I said, we got to start teaching our kids more about the money aspect because if to a degree, if they ready, they ready. Like I said, it's time out for a lot of people saying that my dad never taught me this. I never learned this. Did you ever ask to be taught it? Like I said, I had a
Mm,
family member. He was telling me how his dad, had tons of houses and real estate and stuff like that, but he never taught him how to buy houses. He never taught him how to write grants. He was one of the first guys to write grants for people with AIDS in Atlanta to get housing. You know,
it's
but
popping
the
out
thing,
here. It's popping out here right now in Georgia and Atlanta. Trust and believe. For all
yeah,
of us listening, it's popping out here right now. Like, yo, there's so much land that they chopping down and they opening up for you to make a power move. Now I'm about to make a super power move out here. Trust and believe that. Good, she. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just want to let people know it's jumping off out here. You can make it happen. If you got a little bit of change, if you got a little bit of change to spare, or if you got a little crew that you can come out here with, and y'all got some money to spare, y'all can make it happen out here right now.
yeah, man. Because seeing fit, like I said, man, you got to focus on you and yourself, the family. If you got one, if not, you got to focus on you, man. That's why I keep pushing that knowledge yourself. You got to figure out what you want out of life, what you want to do. This whole thing of listening to everybody else is cool, but in the end, like, who's representing you, or who you want to represent you, or who you have that's in your corner. That's the biggest
Hmm.
thing. Like, who is your biggest cheerleader? We hear these guys all day talk about these women, but at the same time, if that's not your motivation, be done with it. Like, if I'm not, interested trying to focus on my money, I ain't dealing with these women. I don't need to talk about it. I don't need to be on them panels with them. I'm just doing me, and I can respect that
Mm.
because you admit that. Don't sit here and say you ain't trying to get married, but then on other panels you holler about certain things. Cause I'm like, bro,
Talk
I'm gonna
about
start calling
marriage.
bullshit.
That's the craziest part though. She those be over here talking about yo, they ain't trying to get married, but then they want to talk about a fucking chick not getting married. If you're not trying to
Oh,
get married, why the fuck you care about a chick that the chick getting married? You don't want to get married? Go out there and do what you do, nigga. Get your fuck on. It is what it is. Nigga, what the fuck is
yeah.
wrong with you?
That's like
Ah
that that,
man.
that panel that Sister George them had, and married guys in this space. When it came down to it, you hear a lot of guys was having issue with those guys and their answers and what they was talking about. But I'm like, that's not your lane. You not married. You don't expire. You don't look at wanting to get married. So what are you worrying about the dudes that's out here trying to get married for? Like I never understand that. Like
You might
we
take it
had a
somewhere
panel
else.
one time.
I might have to build off of that because you taking it somewhere else, and I know you're trying to get out of here. But I might have to
Yeah.
expand on that. I might have to expound on that. Let me big. Let me, nah,
Hey,
that's the thing I be fucking with on the two. My nigga WW. For those that know who he is, I ain't gonna shout him out on his shit like that. But he be like, yo, big word. That he be like, yo, big word. He be saying his shit. He be like, yo, big word. That's real shit. Like, yo, these niggas. Shit, I'm gonna expound it. Like, I'm not holding no punches. Deuce, I'm gonna build my shit. I'm gonna build my shit the right way, and I'm gonna build my shit. I'm going at everybody's neck. It is what it is. That's what's happening. That's what's happening for the deuce. I'm going to everybody's neck. If you on some bullshit, it is what it is. Cause I only deal with real motherfuckers. Everybody that's in my circumference is real niggas, and you one of them. This is my guy. She. You hear what I'm saying? This is my guy. She. I will rip your face off. I will rip your face off for this thing because he's a real nigga. It is what it is. And that's yeah. It is what I'm about to fade out. 'Cause I know you trying to end the show. I get it. I keep it going. I'm keeping it going because you know how we do. She when we get on the phone, we can be talking for hours. So let me start fading out. Let me get. That's my final thought. Pull up on the God's corner. I'm about to go live in a hot second. Shout out my nigga She once again. He's a real dude. This is my yo. This is my guy. I fuck with him. And I met him off the tube. I met him off the YT shit. I met him off the YT shit, and we linked up. And ever since then, he's been my guy. He's been my guy. I fucks with him whenever I see him, whenever he see me. It's nothing but respect. And he know the way I move. He know the way I move. So he know I ain't no bullshit nigga. I'm definitely not a bullshit ass nigga. Trust and believe that shit. I'm not no bullshit nigga. I lived a certain type of life, but I'm not a bullshit nigga. Believe that shit. I'm about that work. I'm about that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And that's all I gotta say. I'm out of here, she. I'm gonna stay up here for you with you for a second, but I'm gonna let you finish out your show. Go ahead, bro.
yeah, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna drop. When it come down to it, you got a lot of guys trying to represent things to a certain degree in marriage, like New was saying. You got to get a real, hell, like I say it all the time. You ain't finding no submissive woman in no 2020s. You know, you ain't find no dude that's, to a degree gonna pay and do all this other crap. You know, when it come down to it, you got to focus on what you want out of a relationship. You know, if you expecting certain things, man, this whole fairy tale thing about a submissive woman, nah. Even in back in the day, them women weren't submissive. You
Mm,
know, they had nowhere else to go. You know, we all we had back then. Men couldn't go marry out. Women couldn't go marry out. That's all we had. So a lot of women they stuck with the abuse. They stuck with certain other things. But to a degree, marriage ain't easy. You can find someone
mm,
that makes it worthwhile. But to a degree, it ain't too much easy. But the point of it is, you know, a lot. I get tired of guys coming on panels trying to give advice on marriage. You've never been married, and you don't have no plan on getting married because of the horror stories that you ran into. There's guys who
mm,
ain't even really been in a long term relationship, but pushing that getting a girl is a bad thing. Going overseas, it just like going overseas. If you goofy and you not that dude over here, what make you think the women go like I said on I think it was Pastor Channel. You think when you get off that plane the women gonna fall at your feet and start giving you praise? No, bro, you gotta put in work just like you is over here. Otherwise, you're gonna do the same way you do over here when you go overseas. You're gonna pay for it. And if you pay for it, that's cool. It ain't no shame in me. That's your deal. You know?
Damn, she. That's trying to fade out. I was trying to fade out, but yo, just about what you saying, bro. It's just real time. Nigga, we live in the age of internet. Y'all think these people don't have internet where they at? They see what goes on over here. And that shit that she just said, yo, dude's been doing that shit since I was a youngster. I'm an older type dude. I ain't that old. Don't get it twisted, man. Y'all see my picture. I'm still looking. I still got my shit together. It is what it is. But as she was just saying, excuse me, y'all. Yo, that shit been going on since I was a youngster. Yo, my mother used to send me out the crib when I was a youngster on some real young shit. That's back in the day when she could just put you on a flight and the flight attendants would watch you until you get to the other side of the motherfucking country. It is what it is. And yo, this shit ain't nothing new. These females in other places, they know the same game. I'm gonna tell you, I don't give a fuck about none of these fly niggas talking all that bullshit. Talking about yo, yeah, no, they know the game. It's not new. They're expecting foreigners to come through. They're expecting foreigners to come through. The foreigners, you know what foreigners do? That's what they call them, foreigners. Is either you're a foreigner, like in the beginning of the motherfucking movie, shot us. What the nigga said when the nigga got deported, the nigga Biggs. He's like, yo, don't come here with your foreign style. Don't come here with your foreign. Yeah, come on, they know what it is. They know y'all gonna come out there and spend a little bit of bread to get some ass. They know what it is. And no act like that's not what it is for a lot of these motherfuckers. It's because you struggling out here. You go overseas and you go get some ass. You pay. It is what it is. There's nobody to check you over there. There's nobody to check you over there because you're over there by yourself. It is what it is. Come on, man. Let's cut the cap. Let's cut the cap. 2022. Can we please cut the fucking cap, man? It is what it is. You're breaking out because you got the struggle face and you're struggling. You struggling over here. They ain't fucking with you. They ain't fuck with you like that because you're not that nigga. You're not that nigga that's gonna lay your shit down. I know motherfuckers are talking about yo, especially like lame niggas. It is what it is. Fuck it, nah. With a lame nigga back, let me keep it 100,000%. Lame niggas, bitches don't respect y'all because they know that y'all cannot protect them and y'all not trying to do what y'all gotta do to fucking hold it down. This is why the so-called, which I call Pookies and Ray Rays, be getting love because them bitches understand that them niggas will actually hold it down, and them niggas will actually. When I say hold it down, I'm not talking about no low level. I'm not talking about no low level ass niggas. It's a difference. That's what I'm saying because y'all forgot about the hierarchy. Some of y'all's really living in a never land type shit. It's like yo, when you leave Neverland, you don't remember what happened in Neverland. If y'all ever really paid attention to the way that shit played out, the Peter Pan effect. When you leave Neverland, you don't remember what happened in Neverland. A lot of y'all niggas is game goofy, and it is what it is. It is what it is. Some of y'all niggas is just game goofy, and that's the way your life is gonna play out. I know it's harsh, cold, nigga. I don't play them games. Fuck y'all niggas, me, nigga. This is what made me a fucking boss in my life. This is why when I go back to my city or wherever I go, I get nothing but love and respect. Cause motherfuckers see I ain't with the bullshit. And I'm tired of the coddling motherfuckers. And when I say motherfuckers, that's male and female. Cause male and females can be motherfuckers. Understand the world that you live in. The world is a cold motherfucking place. You have to figure out how to fucking maneuver within this shit. There ain't nobody fucking trying to fucking babysit you, nigga. Y'all niggas want to be babysitter? Y'all want a babysitter? I'm not that guy. I don't babysit nobody. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all motherfuckers. The world's a cold world. Life is a motherfucker. Life is a motherfucker. You're not guaranteed to be here tomorrow. Tomorrow is not guaranteed.
And with
And I
that
learned
being
that.
said, we gone. I'm
Oh,
gonna leave
we
it
out
at
there.
that. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
leave it
we
at
out there. We out there. We out there. Shit, my God, man. You already know. Salute to you, man. I got nothing but love for you, fam. Nothing
Hey
but love
man,
for you.
you too,
I'm
man.
out of
Like
here.
always, man. We here and we gone, man.
We
Respect,
going.
respect.
We going.